People were saying what they want an Ike Nota debate.
We didn't debate. We just did an episode.
Oh, you wasn't
Those
debating.
debate things, what do they help with, man?
I don't know.
A lot.
Is it?
Like what?
Didn't you watch the Douglas Murray debate that he just had now, Joe Rogan?
With Dave Smith?
It's like, it shows you the Israelis are so desperate to win their arguments. They bring experts to debate comedians. It's like, like obviously he's gonna eat Dave Smith alive.
But if you go to the comments,
I know.
He lost public opinion.
I know he lost public opinion because the arguments he was using were just ridiculous. So you've never been to Israel. So how can you talk about Israel?
You never been there.
You niggas are bombing motherfuckers because you're telling us that you guys were there 3,000 years ago. How about that? How about that? How about that?
And when I was watching this thing and I was like, this guy, every time they not put their head him at a aha moment.
Yeah.
But the way he was able to pivot around things, I was like,
This is a liar. You can see he's a snake. It'll every argument is there, just worming his way out.
Okay, can we roll?
We've been rolling.
Okay. I want to talk about the JOOs.
What is the JOOs? The JOOs.
You can get cancelled before you even start. Is there anything that you guys are not comfortable talking about? You just get that out the way.
Actually, you know what? An apple taz would be enough.
No, Nota Pella. Canceling. He must tell us.
I'm cancelable, dog.
Yeah?
You can't
Oh,
cancel
wow.
me, dog.
Is there anything that you...
You can't cancel me, dog.
No.
Why are you gonna cancel my surname? I'm no longer part of my family. What the fuck?
The Pala brothers. Let's say he's out of the family. Upelo.
Yeah.
How are you out of the family?
Typical cheese boy.
No, don't call me. Magunama event ningangipelela ngifuna next.
Typical cheese boy.
So manje you're not isibongo sakho. Like you're out of your
Out of yourself.
because there's many people in family things that we don't call vele. Now you're out of it.
Yeah.
Why do you say you're uncancelable?
Just like they're like, you know, the only thing that matters to me is my family. So you can only be cancelled if something that matters to you can be taken.
Let's cut deep. Talking about family, I honestly don't know your life. I just know the public, what I get fed from my algorithms.
Yeah.
And we've realized that social media is scam. You never really get to know a person through and through.
Yeah.
Bro, without sounding too interviewy or too angazi nje, biza ngani. Where you from? Where you born?
I'm from here,
Joberg.
from Jozi.
You were born in Joberg?
Born in Parktown.
No, you weren't.
Yes. My grandmother was born here, my mother was born here, I was born here.
No, you weren't.
Parktown go cheesing Nota.
Yeah, Florence Nightingale.
Only cheese very like street nje.
With lies. He walked in with lies. He showed us something of lies on his phone. And now he's going to continue with the lies.
No, the very which is no man.
You were born in Parktown.
Born in Parktown, like town, like you see where there's the towers.
And raised in Joburg.
Yeah.
Are you not from SOH or something like that? No?
Yeah, well, that's where we started when we had to be there, but from 1991.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Group Areas Act was repealed in 1991. When the Group Areas Act said you can leave the township, we left.
And then you went
Immediately.
But wait,
So, yeah.
Nota, you were born in
Johannesburg North.
Kokasi. Were you
In the
not born
north?
Kokasi and then went to Parktown after nje?
I was born, the hospital I was born in
Yeah.
is Parktown, Florence Nightingale. That's
Sure,
where I was
sure,
born. That's where I took my first breath.
Yeah.
You understand? So when they say place of birth,
Yeah.
they mean where your birth certificate was signed.
You guys have had
Parktown.
medical aid for days.
So you are not
My entire life, I've been on medical aid. So, well, I was born on medical aid.
we medical aid on ourselves. We medical aid.
Your kids are born on medical aid. What are you talking about?
35 years old, Chief.
Yeah.
I'm marrying yourself to a 9-year-old.
Hectic, no.
Damn. Okay.
That is hectic.
Okay. So your mom and dad worked in what space? to
My
be
dad
able to
is an
afford it?
entrepreneur,
Is it?
and my mom worked for many companies. Yeah.
So professionals.
No, not really. My mom was like, she did clerical work most of the time,
In look.
like secretary, admin,
Admin
and
stuff mostly.
Like that.
Anytime I got into business.
Yeah, my dad's.
Post matric, you then
I went to varsity,
where?
UJ, Vega, and IMM.
I
never finished.
Commitrend, ne? Why?
By Atlas Studios.
Oh, yeah, ke bona. Re tseno ka ba ngwe ka blue. Yeah, ke bona. I am
UJ, you studied?
Entrepreneurship management.
AAA, you studied?
No, not AAA, but it's close. Vega.
Vega,
I did
sorry.
brand building and management.
Study these things, man.
Well, I didn't finish my studies.
Yeah, but you still,
But I did buy the textbooks, yes.
And then you went to
IMM afterwards.
study,
Marketing management.
All round.
and then what did you do after that?
I continued working. I was already working when I was studying. That's why I had to
As?
stop my studies. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, as everything. But you know,
Two not in a manga, guys.
yeah,
Ubani?
as everything.
Kushabani. Phela mina ngithi mina ngiyafunda manje ngithi.
Yeah,
But to not to mashaya.
Before ngimphaphele ngithi ngiyamfunda kancane ngoba phela umuntu ungagxumi based on
What people say.
propaganda.
Asimashaya. Unota the person unota uzothi ngimashaya sharp. Who said ngimashaya? The thing that I'm speaking about, go to that person and ask them.
that's it.
The people don't come out and say Nota is lying.
There's so many questions I want to ask Nota about. So when you just
Yeah. So with all the accusations of lying, I'm like, seriously, like people would have come out and said, "Yo,
Yeah.
you could destroy all my credibility."
Yeah.
there's one where you were saying you guys were marching onto AKA,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the pictures are there.
and then people were like, it's bullshitting, it's bullshitting,
Yeah.
it's bullshitting. Our poster boy.
Was it for the fees, ne?
Yeah,
fees must fall. Yeah.
But you know, bullshitting. And you let it go for like a day. You let it go for a while. Until they appeal.
A post.
So, volume.
But to Nota,
Load shedding.
there's another thing, but to Nota.
That's where I know the fees must fall guys from. You know, so all the guys that say, "Yeah, I was part of the fees must fall movement," I'm like, nigga. In fact, that whole entire movement was started by my cousin, my little cousin.
I
So
was chilling, Nota kanjani. I was chilling, Nota. I was chilling.
no, that whole entire thing. I was already a dropout, so why would I be marching? My cousin was the one who was at school.
Which one? I get it, but I know only fees must fall. That was the first one. That
It was first Rose Must Fall. but it was
Yes.
through shit in
Sure.
Cape Town.
So
No, actually, the Rose Must Fall movement started in Grahamstown. About roads, the name,
Makani,
right?
yeah.
And that's when they started speaking about it.
Yeah.
And then the first activity happened at NMMU. And then after it had happened at NMMU, the throwing feces on the statue.
Oh, so.
Then that's what happened. So it was a decolonization project.
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
really about fees. at first.
Initially.
and then they added more things. And then there was outsourcing as well.
Well,
There was a lot of things that
what
were
happens is
added
that
now.
there was this protest movement about decolonizing the education
Sure.
that people have. And then it was like, okay, let's decolonize also access to the space. And that's where the fees movement then came in.
Okay. Before we get there, there's a bridge. So you were working as that pressured you to focus on that and leave Scale.
Leave what? Scalar.
You said you dropped
I was
out.
working in music. So I was working at Bada Bing Entertainment and Ventilation, which is like Skwatta Kamp's record company.
What is it doing?
I did a lot. I started as a social media manager, ended up being music manager, and then just ended up managing whatever was necessary.
Hectic.
What
so
year is this?
So I was still in high school.
When you started working for them?
I was in grade 11,
The company layer was Squatter Camp.
What year was this?
2007. I was 16. Just before I turned 18.
You must take him to court, dog.
What?
Our child labor.
No. As long as you're 16, you can work.
When you are sebenza ngapha ngapha uyafunda ngapha.
I was going to school. I was coming after school on Wednesdays. I'd come through, do their social media, post on their pages, update all the stuff, and then buy me Nando's.
Ntwana fe.
You know, they buy me Nando's, but mina benkera itlipa every day. to school either way. So
Nota.
It's in a Nota.
what?
It's in a Nota. But when we clip a day.
Nota on Alma.
2007, when we clip a day.
From 2004. That's when I started high school.
When we clip a day.
Bengibamba ama-taxi ayi-3.
714 to
I had to
928.
go from Brixton to Four Ways. Ngama-taxi every day.
So the clipper is not to care, the clipper is takes.
But it's everything. It's kera, ama-taxi, ukudla.
But the clipper is a lot.
Clipper's
I'm going it's a lot. Even if
2004.
it includes the transport.
So get down here like always. I know Mnandi boy.
When I talk about Mtebelele.
I mean,
Finish skating. UJ doesn't work out. You're still working for the Skwatta Camp label. You go to Vega, it doesn't work out. You're still working for the squad. When did you transition out of that, or did you continue that?
well, yeah, like after I dropped out at Vega, my dad was like, "No, I'm done. I paid your fees at UJ, you dropped out. I paid your fees at Vega, you dropped out. Now you're on your own." So then, like, I decided to take myself to IMM because it was a lot cheaper.
What do you mean you decided to take yourself?
Like, I was paying for my own fees. I didn't roll myself.
Working for
A record label. Hectic.
And I wasn't really working for them. I was like a service provider.
what does that mean?
You're a company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
they were
weren't
paying my
there as an
company for the
individual.
services. So like,
Yeah.
I was giving them label services.
I get you.
So label services like marketing, promotions, all of that stuff.
How old are you now with your own company doing all
The
these
company.
things?
No,
How old were you when you started paying your own fees?
my company's been active since I was 12, since 2002.
Okay, shit.
So
So when you started paying your own
Ni
fees?
catch up on in madoda. Baqale 2020,
No,
2012.
yazi.
2002, not 2020.
2002. You.
I think there's a lot of nuggets
of
that
it.
people overlook with the Nota, and I think this is what we need to unpack.
Sure.
You paid your own fees. Which year was this? How old are you now?
So I finished at 18. So I was 19 in UJ, 20 at Vega. I was 21.
Paying your own fees.
Yo.
Running your own company.
Yeah, I've been running my own company since.
Yo.
Majidana 26. Asacele i-airtime ku-olate.
Yeah.
Yimo macela ungisendele u-500 meg.
So like once there was a time where my sister had finished doing what I think she'd just finished her second master's or something. So she was doing a project as a consultant for UJ, like a research project. And then like she had to bill them like 300,000 rand or something like that, right? And then she called me. She's like, "Yo, they just took 35% of my money." I was like, "Yeah, that's tax. Why didn't you invoice them as a company? You're an individual. Why wouldn't you have a company?" And then that's when I realized that, going to school only trains you to be an employee. Like my sister didn't know. She's got a master's in economics, 2 master's degrees in economics. She didn't know that she actually needs to set up a company
And get loaded as a vendor.
so that she can pay her own taxes instead of them paying the tax.
As that's a gap. Sorry, I want to just move away. So I've seen this happen in the media space.
Yeah.
Where a person will come in as a sales, right? I come in, I'll sell whatever you guys have at offer, but I'm not employed by you, so I'll load my company. So let's say you have, and again, this is where it's in Ondak we miss out, because then you'll say you've got 20,000 in a month. He comes in at your company and it's pay as you earn. I come in and said VAT 16%.
Yeah.
But then I load everything. Everything is deductible. That my rent, my car, everything, groceries, handy. By the time I look, I'm not even paying 16%. Let me say 5. Off 20,000. So you paying both of us 20,000 rand. When are you paying whatever 30% tax?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm paying 5%. Or because I said, no, look, I'll work for you. Just load me as a vendor. And I've seen this time and time again. And guys just do that and they just keep moving.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I saw it. We both started on the same pay. Our cost to company is the same.
The same, yeah.
But fast forward 5 years,
Yeah.
into zakhe ziyavuleka, and I'm not understanding ukuthi kanti lona kulo 20,000 and ukhokhela tax 500 rand.
But also you're banking, you're building your credit record. You understand? You can get financing from the bank manager for the business that you're not liable for. Understand? Fana no look out. When they liquidate you, batata matek. They don't take your personal assets. They take the assets of the business, and then you can start again.
And that's why most people converted from CC to PTY, because that was the issue with CC.
No. CC just closed. The CC regime closed. And then they said we're converting them all to PTY because it was basically the same thing, just about the limit of members. So I think a CC had up to 20 members.
And
can
a
be part of
PTY
CC,
just
unlimited, because it can be a private company. I think it's up to 1,000 actually.
Sure. I don't know why I thought that it's the issue is still connected to you personally when you've got issues within your business. If
Depends.
it's a CC.
It depends. If you're declared a delinquent director,
these are the
then
things
you can be personally liable for anything that your company owns.
I see.
But these are the things that Tinto don't understand, and these are the things that I think Tina is Ondaki. We are struggling to articulate or communicate these things out for that these young kids, they think that you've been given everything silver spoon, of which you've had your privileges, as which you say.
Yeah, but not,
but
they're not that hectic. That's
but you must understand, a privilege is subjective.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So again, a person who's born in a medical aid, that's privilege. So we all have our own individual privileges. But I think that people, you have created a certain brand, and it's very controversial, and it's divisive,
Yeah.
And
or polarizing.
And I think with certain toxic platforms, and I'm gonna call it toxic platforms such as X, it's one voice, because you're searching for engagement and right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, they're the most toxic stuff sell, and all the nuggets end up being washed and being overlooked amongst the toxicity, to a point where I was actually seeing a post today about something that happened in Orania, about their murder and what. And I'm reading the comments below. People are actually happy. And I'm like, this speaks to the space.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you're to actually have a real conversation off the space with the same individual, they might give you a different answer.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing, it depends. But I'm saying, if, let's say some of the people that talk shit about you, and you've got your fair share.
Yeah.
If they were sitting here, they wouldn't say the same things in the same tone.
Yeah.
In the exact words. All of a sudden, when it's the real person, the real issues, and you're not hiding behind an avatar, and you're not hiding behind keyboards, all of a sudden the energy changes.
Well, I experience it differently. Let me put it to you like this. When I walk into the club, I can actually sense that I've walked into the club.
What do you mean?
As in, like, the environment becomes different.
Sure.
I can sense the feeling that people have, without the DJ saying, yo, Nota just walked in. Before then, I can already sense it. Walk into a room, I can already sense niggas shriveling up, just in the spaces that I'm in. So I feel like
wait,
yeah.
Wait, let me unpack it. Okay, so you're getting a clap.
Send that.
I'm talking about the biggest baller in Niger. I don't buy bottles ever. Ever. I'll sit down next to a guy who's balling or whatever. All of a sudden, 10 bottles will come. All of a sudden, he's under pressure. Me with no bottles, nothing, just drinking my water. He thinks that this nigga is going to take all these girls already.
And futhi imoto yakho nje futhi phezu kwalokho.
Imoto eyiphi? You haven't seen my car? I do have a nice, normal, old school car.
It's a nice car.
But
But
nice car, yes.
the car looks like a car that can attract. So it's an energy.
Listen.
No.
Kanye West said, the only cars are a Benz and a Porsche. If you don't have any of those, you don't have a car.
What is China?
No, Kanye said that yesterday, and I was like,
So, guys,
at least
you guys must figure out which one from the two Nota is driving.
No, they know. I've already said it. But with that said, so what I see on social media with people just saying mean things, like many of those people that say mean things, the reason why they wouldn't say those things in public is because they don't mean them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't mean, they're just trolling. You know what I mean? And yes, it's a sick joke, it's demented, but that's just...
Do you find yourself at times trolling?
What do you mean? Who?
You.
Like me trolling? The thing is this, is that I thought about it, right? Because yes, it's very easy to call things trolling. But sometimes you have to be strategic. You have to know your audience, and you need to know what bait to give them to get them to, get where you're going. So for me, it's actually really serious. It's not.
Yeah, well, you've got a marketing background, so
Yeah.
So I'm not that
Consumer behavior. I've studied it. You know what I mean? So exactly. So now I try to manipulate.
What is it that you've seen? Because now you're saying you've studied whoever's your audience. I'm assuming it's mostly black people. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But what is it that you are seeing about those people?
What am I seeing?
Yeah. Can you give us some sort of insights about the people that
Did you try this sweet?
No, I'm good.
What is it? What is the thing that you are seeing about them?
I'm good now.
What is it that you're seeing about them?
These are
So I mean, like, people are just miserable.
Yeah.
Like in general. Like, that's what I sense. And
why do they wither and disappear when you walk into a space?
well, no, those are the people that are in my space. When I'm not saying in my space, like in
No, I was
the
asking you
media,
via social
music,
media.
and
Outside
you know what I
of
mean,
the
those
space,
types of things. So, for me, those people will never say anything mean about me on social media, ever. They'll never post about me, you know what I mean, or anything, or engage anything that has to do with me, right? They know me personally.
Yeah.
You understand? When I'm not in the room, they only talk about me. Seriously. They only
How
talk
do you know
about
that?
me.
Because you're not in the room.
I'm not in the room, but the thing is that they don't know who they're talking to always. And they always talk about me so often.
Oh, then you
that
find out.
Yes. And like this person was saying this person was saying this. They don't know sometimes.
Why they're saying nice things about you? What's wrong with that?
Either way. It's, Either way. They never just randomly say a nice thing about me. You understand what I'm saying?
Why?
I'm just saying, they'd never say, they'd never send me a happy birthday message or a shout out or anything. They would never.
Happy birthday to your brother. Wasn't your brother's birthday? Happy birthday.
Yeah, my brother 2 days ago. My little brother. It's my niece's birthday today as well.
It's my birthday.
21st.
It's my birthday on the 14th of April.
Oh, nice. Nice. You share a
Well, don't I
birthday.
birthday?
You share a birthday with either Spectacular or something. DJ Spectacular, I think.
Then I happy birthday again for it too. So.
Or Proverb, maybe.
Huh?
Proverb or Spectacular, either or.
Either or. It's, I mean, I'm still trying to find out what it is about how those people view you or the relationship that you have with them for them to feel small in spaces. Like, for example, you're not there to pick up hoes. That's not who you are. You're not there popping bottles. That's not who you are. Yet they feel a type of way. Why?
Because the hoes know who I am. The bottle poppers know who I am. And I don't need to partake in any of the things that they're doing to have all of their attention. Not at all. Like, let me tell you something.
Never.
Let me tell you something.
Look at me.
There'll be a baller in the club, né?
Yeah.
Big baller, Niger guy or whatever. He just bought 5 bottles. I walk into the club. The guy will stand up, walk up to me and say, "What's up?" What do you think his bitches think?
No, he's
Without
greeting.
even a young... I know. But that's the thing about women.
What space are you in? Because if
I go to Booth,
if
you see how Booth is. I don't know if you've been to Booth.
I've never.
Okay,
the upstairs and the downstairs.
But as you walk in from the entrance, you walk into the club. The whole club is watching you walk in, practically.
Yeah.
You understand? You understand what I'm saying? So, like, if I walk into...
But if I were to see you, and if I'm with
and
my sister...
No, but you're my
and
nigga. But either way, you're my nigga, right? What are you going to do?
I'm going to stand up to complete.
You understand what I'm saying? But these guys that are usually in the club, right? Who are they hanging around with? Girls that are on rotation. It's a new girl this week. It's a new girl this week. So I'm just saying... Do you understand what I'm saying?
I stand up to greet you, bro.
I stand up to greet people too. And I don't mind that the girls I'm with notice, like, hey, who's this guy that
Yeah, but you're also not turning your body. You're also not about that life. Okay.
So uzokuthathela imedi ungabhayanga
Nah,
amabhoda.
But he won't. But that's exactly what
That's
he
the
said.
thing. I said, I won't.
But that's what he said.
Oh, he's got the power to do it, but he doesn't do it.
I won't.
Well, we don't know about power too.
Ability, maybe.
Oh, Billy, okay, sharp.
Or ability to.
Hey, you guys
No,
love.
but Asaz,
You like soft names, ability.
He is saying, with those guys feel like he can, and those girls give him attention. Those type of girls. I don't know if he's talking about Cherry Young. You made an example of a club. He wasn't saying when he walks into a sontweni, oh, mam fundisi, go woo. He didn't say that.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about in that space. in the entertainment nightlife space. You understand?
Phela ngiyasonda these days ngiyabamphuma mfundisi vele umfundisi nabo bayambuka. Hayi ngidlala
No, they have to. So yeah, so as I'm saying, it's like so they get that. So everyone in the space understands that. And for me, I've never had to try. Think about it. I'm in entertainment and all this stuff, right?
When did Nota become
But
Nota?
I've always been Nota from the beginning, like from the jump. So the way I got into the entertainment space is not that I came there and saying, yo, bada bing, give me an opportunity. I said, yo, you guys don't have social media and everything else. I'm a social media expert. Those guys, they came to my events first.
Okay, so you're throwing events.
We're throwing events already. We're making beats. We didn't have anywhere to sell our beats to. Well, we ran out of people to sell beats to. We sold to our network, our immediate network. So like...
what do you mean we? Who's the we?
Me and my homies that I started with. Right.
Okay.
So
is this now the company growing or is this building a different company?
Each of us had our own companies.
Okay, got you.
So, but yeah. So like it means this is quite a lot of it. There's lots of
Industry
guys.
friends or guys that you went to school with and grew up with?
No. We're from the same neighborhood. We're from the northern suburbs. That's it. That's all that connected us. You understand what I'm saying? And we had ambitions, you know what I mean? Of like, yo, we want to be doing what Puff Daddy and them are doing overseas with these hip hop kids. Who we're not looking at hip hop and looking at it as, yo, we just want to be on the mic and rap. We're looking at the moguls and saying, we wanna be those moguls.
Not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera.
You understand what I'm saying?
Got you.
Because when you look at our neighborhoods, we are living in MTV cribs. You know what I mean? The types of houses that you see on MTV cribs are our parents' houses. If you understand what I'm saying.
I get you. So you know those houses where
I'm not saying like, but I'm saying the types of houses. Like a house which got that big entrance and the big double door. You understand what I'm saying? Like some people are like, oh,
this is the 90s.
But 90s, 2000s, and everything else. Come on, Bryanston. Bryanston is better than anything you've ever seen on MTV Cribs. On MTV Cribs, they're in a small neighborhood. They got small yards. Okay, some of them have got big yards, but I mean the designs of the house, the style.
Now, general. No,
I'm referencing the shows, man. Look,
basically, let me tell you what it was. If you lived in the northern suburbs, it looked like you lived.
When you sounded, you were part of the crew.
Never.
No. It felt like you lived in America.
Yeah.
If something was, you saw it on Nickelodeon, on TV, you could go to Santon City or Four Ways Mall
you could
and
reference
get
it very quickly. Yes.
No, it's not even about referencing it very quickly. It's about what they've got. Uda. And I said, what's a flip phone Motorola? Nah, a flip phone is saying aye. So we were living as if we're living in America because that's our standard. We're seeing that and we've got access to that. So it changed the way in which we saw things.
You've got an entrepreneurial father who's also planting seeds.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like,
how you want to compete with him?
Your dad's got a boss. Your dad's, hey, I'm going to be late for work. I'm going to get fired. Your dad is scared of getting fired. Mina, my teacher says nonsense to me. I call my dad right now. He leaves the site wherever he's working. He comes to the office, pulls up on the principal like, yo, why am I leaving my business? I can't even attend to my workers right now for this. What's going on? You know what I mean? So it's a completely different perspective.
Yeah.
Like
you have that mindset. You put it in your 20s. You and let's call friends / business partners.
Yeah, my crew.
Your crew.
My homies. So the one guy, my business partner, Elijah Lubala, he now owns like one of the fastest growing emerging payment services. It's called TumaTap.
Okay.
I mean, it's been funded. He raised funds. I was with him in New York when he was doing his first round of funding. He was part of an accelerator. He raised $500,000 from Bank of America then. Just raised, I think, $14 million in Saudi Arabia for the company now.
You reminded me of Yoko in the early stages. They were doing those runs as well.
It's exactly what he's doing. That's it. My other homies were also doing stuff. They're DJs. Twins, Major League. You understand? So that's the thing. That's kula sonke. So y'all niggas are introduced to us like 10 years later when we are individuals.
You know, I'll say
You
something.
understand what I'm saying? You don't know that, Lane Les, when they were still back in high school,
Pusha.
they were doing all these things. And then you see, okay, this one's got this thing that he's doing. This one's got this. If you actually look at what they are doing, all of them put together, it's like, wow, this is actually huge. So think about it. The Kwaito guys didn't have their own festivals like Major League Gardens. They were booked. We had our own festivals. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't go to Germiston Lake. We hired it for the weekend. We spoke to the councillor. We got the permissions. We made sure that by 12 o'clock at midnight, we shut down the sound so the city doesn't complain, so we don't get fined by the city of Ekurhuleni. We went to the mayor's
That's the
office
pioneers
to get
of these things, man.
permission.
This is your early 20s.
You understand what I'm saying?
That
It's
is
not
insane.
like that's just the standard.
There's more thing I saw. I remember being an Outama Sekas, the guy I grew up with the guys. He's my closest friend. Like, I'm sad, Wuti. The guys you grew up with, we didn't push all at the same pace, bro. And now when you go to the hood, you are the only hero. When you go to the hood and chill with your guys, it's not an end. Young John, it's not only him I want, because like I've no Dallas song is push. And when I mean the hood, I mean the north for you.
Yeah,
because that's still a hood,
That's my hood, yeah.
Exactly. Young John. It's like no, Dallas push, Antoine.
Well, okay. Actually.
Yeah.
The black kids
Okay.
in the hood have got two fortunes.
Fortunes.
Yeah, two different fortunes.
Okay.
They're the ones that can make a name for themselves outside of their parents.
Okay.
And then the ones that disappoint their parents.
Okay.
Like that embarrass their parents.
Sure.
Majority embarrass their parents.
Yeah.
Because their parents came into wealth or high income earning through patronage systems. So let's say all of a sudden now we've got a black government. We need to hire black workers and everything else. We need managers and whatever. You've got a degree, it's fine. You might have never actually done this job, but now we're putting you in. Now you're staying in Danefern or whatever in these northern suburbs. And now your kids are growing up in this environment amongst these white kids who've had it for years and years and generations.
Sure.
They don't know how to treat it. You don't know how to teach them how to get into your position because you actually didn't really earn your position. It just was by happenstance that you were at the right place at the right time with the right qualification to, get the opportunity. And not everybody got those opportunities. It's the minority. So the numbers are just think about it like this. Bonang, another one, 4 ways. Kid. You know what I mean? How many other black girls were going to 4 ways high when she was going to 4 ways high? Many. You know what I mean?
But then she decided to actually utilize that opportunity.
No, I'm just saying after her there's no one else. She's the one that came from that environment. It's like like if it was a science experiment.
Wait. Are you saying
it wouldn't have a proper. You wouldn't be able to prove it because you haven't been able to replicate it or repeat it.
So are you saying Utiwena and your crew are
all of us are lucky
anomalies?
Yes,
within the
100%.
space?
Me and my crew are an anomaly. Without everybody else, one of the crew would make it.
Back to what?
But Tina
Debs are
collectively,
saying, what
like,
Debs are
think
saying.
of-
I'm going to you talking about Butelukshini when Pumila Machita Sami. So
Well,
that's what you are also highlighting.
so like,
within
but
the
as a
space.
proof for Bona.
Yes, but in the sense, it's still an anomaly.
It is,
because
yeah.
even though they're a group of six out of 600 black kids.
Yeah.
Yabona, you then become that whatever that 6 what was 1%. So it becomes crazy. Okay. I knew Unota. When did I first meet Unota? I think there was we were in Rosebank, and I see this guy, big muscular guy, Unota, fundi paper. He's got a little Apple what thing or something.
Oh,
Where was this?
I don't know that.
It's we're sitting in Rosebank. We were doing
probably at Tash's so.
no, we were doing a chat with Tusbuda.
Oh, at Triko Hotel.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
And I
yes.
was like, I'm like, what you fundi paper. And I remember how he jumped in. I'm like, fuck, this guy's knowledgeable. Like he really is. And then I started doing my due diligence. It's okay, no, sharp. Whoever he is, I need to. And then obviously then Ulunga introduced me and what. And then the relationship has started like that. And it's been so crazy seeing social media you versus real you. And it's not that
two
it's
different
different.
people.
No, it's not different. It's there's an energy, as you're saying. There's the business marketing hat, social media, and then there's umchita. Yeah, and they can coexist. It's the same thing like with you. You know, like I've seen Utebza, the entrepreneur, the businessman, and I've seen Utebza, the father, and I've seen Numchita, Utebza, like though he wears multiple hats. And it was so crazy. There was a time on social media where it's like Penol and Nota going at each other. And I remember me and Nota chatting on I think it was IG or WhatsApp. And he's like, cool man. And I'm reading these things and people are like, to me, hey bro, you fuck that guy, you must hate that guy. I was like, they're just having a social media beef in real life. In real life, I'm a cheater. In real life, I'm a cheater. How do you manage that type of space? Would you like sometimes the marketing, the business side might be misconstrued and people think that's actually umchita. And you're like, no, I was just commenting on a post. It's not. I wasn't taking a personal shot at you.
Yeah.
I was actually just commenting on that, and then you have to meet this guy. Imagine now he thinks with sending Aben.
Yeah. So the way I always figure it out, because it's the only way to actually make it make sense for myself. You know, it's not like a reasonable thing, but it's just how I make it make sense for myself. Right? Is that I just take first mover status on everything else. So I arrived first on social media. As in ungtolela. So whatever happens, Mina, I know the rules better than you. You understand what I'm saying? So
social media.
no, I'm just I'm just saying. I'm saying that's how I see it. You understand? I assume that status, as in like.
Oh, sure.
You understand?
Sure,
so whatever is happening, it's fine. But this is my playground. Yeah, this is my thing. Yeah.
I've been there for years.
You understand what I'm saying? Sure. So that's how I treat it. So people don't always see it that way, but for me, it's like, yo, Mfana, I'm just setting you the ground rules. So you can't take it personally. It's like when you arrive in high school and the seniors are just saying, yeah, no, we're initiating you or whatever. You can't take it personally. And also, the second thing is that for me, I always try to ensure that, you know, I've got... No, just apple test, just a little bit. I've always got genuine intentions. Like,
I'm not just got
I know, I'm sorry, I'm that guy. No, it's cool, just a little.
No, it's cool.
Okay, sure. So, I basically introspect on anything. Like, I think a lot. That's another thing, is that, you know, people see me on camera, and when I'm on camera, I'm talking. But when I'm not on camera, when I arrive, I'll probably be quiet most of the time. I'm probably listening to something,
exactly,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Now when I see people, now I finally get the chance to talk. It's like, yo, I've been listening. This is like, maybe I might have spent 5 days without talking to people. You understand? Now you're seeing me after 5 days without talking to people.
It shows not his self-esteem.
Yeah.
He is who he thinks he is.
Yeah.
Like there's no misalignment.
Yeah.
Oh man,
tonic.
Yeah.
I pelili tonic. But I think there's one upstairs. Marfaki coke not. Oh yeah. Fakana no, I'm fit.
No, I'm good. I won't have any more. No, I won't have any more. No. I can't drink the Coke, so it's fine.
We will have Coke.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we'll leave you appetizer.
And I don't want to have any more. It's too much sugar. I've had too much sugar for the day.
Yeah,
I limit the amount of sugar. Yeah. You see, when I was a baby, when I was a kid, like that was the secret.
What do you mean?
Don't give him sugar.
Because naturally,
no, it's just like, yeah, I'd be a problem.
Does it ever get too much when you meet people that don't know how to separate and actually take things personally?
Yeah, but I mean, I for me, that's the thing, is that I'm very generous with my empathy. You know what I mean? So like, I'm on some forgive them, Father, for they do not know. You know, and like I have to be, because otherwise it gets to me. You know what I mean? It'll be like, damn, there's so many people that don't understand. You know what I mean? Then it will get to you.
But some people would want to take it like physically and
well, I mean, Stoey Tumi tried.
Serious? Tumi?
That was the whole entire altercation.
Tumi from the volume.
And you know what's the funniest thing? It's always a nigga that doesn't know how to fight that will be the first to try.
Why?
Because they don't know how to fight. They assume that, okay, I'm bigger than you.
No, I want to go back to unpack what happened. I don't know what happened. But I mean, I like Tumi.
So basically,
Tumi
Tumi called me, whatever. He said, yo, let's
Called
pull
you
up.
or-
Yeah, he called me. He has my
up a
number. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I sent him my location.
put up a fight for what? Why would he just?
I don't
call
know,
you?
because I was like, yo, dude, Stoey T should never be on any top 10 list of South African rappers. He's never been a successful rapper.
That's what you said.
He's a successful Nepo baby. His mother was part of the MK. He's got politically connected. His mother's got a diplomatic passport. That's what gets him to travel all around the world and goes to all these music festivals. It's not because he's musically talented. You understand what I'm saying?
You said that with a mouthful of teeth.
I mean, I had to go on to some MTV thing. Like, who are the top 10 greatest MCs? They put Stoey Tumi from the volume above Flabba. Just think about what Flabba represents,
Yeah.
just from a Skwatta Kamp perspective. Skwatta Kamp's first
You said
song
it
that people
personally
know.
because
It's
you
not
know,
even about that.
Flabba like Flabba,
I do, but I'm just saying that obviously
Remember, you worked for the company.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there were
remember,
people
close to
No,
the
but I'm
guys,
saying
like,
it was a
real.
panel. So
Oh,
obviously I'm gonna
yeah,
back up
yeah,
Flabba.
yeah.
I'm gonna say, yo, Flabba, one, a solo sama, two Skwatta Kamp Samas. The first song that Skwatta Kamp came out with that people knew was a Flabba song. When I say Skwatta, the rest shut the fuck up. Only my squad say Kamp, right? Skwatta, Kamp. That's Flabba on his own on that song. Rapping for Skwatta Kamp.
Yeah.
As one man. You understand? That's the
Skwatta
founder.
Kamp, rau, rau.
Yeah, but either way,
Yeah.
either way, it's still that's still Flabba. You know what I mean? That it owns that track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A whole lot of Skwatta Kamp is like the main guy is Flabba.
It's Flabba, yeah.
You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
when he did house music with Bo Nutty Nice and them, you could be my superhero.
Yeah.
You know, crossing over into white stations. Like he did that before any. So I'm like.
So,
Okay.
okay.
So my thing is this: is that I'm from the northern suburbs. I'm from the north, and I know how these people from the north always try to push their north Nepo babies, and overlooking all the other niggas who are actually talented but just so happen to come from rural areas or the township.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I need to counter that. I'm the one guy who grew up in the north, who's got his eye out for my brothers back home, where my grandmother lives, where my cousins live, where my family is, where I'm there every single weekend, and I'm seeing them getting overlooked and motherfuckers in my
So you
neighborhood.
said this on a platform
On MTV.
On MTV.
Yeah, the top 10 greatest of all time list. I was supposed to do the hottest MCs list, but they said,
And then-
nah, you're too close. It's gonna be, it's gonna be conflict of interest. So do the GOATs list. So from that area, from that time onwards,
Stoey calls
he took it personally. But one time, then he decides to call me. Yo, let's link up. And I sent him my location. I still got the chats right now. I haven't deleted the chats.
No.
So send the location.
Delete the
No, I
chat.
deleted location. No, I've still got it there. I went to my to my parents' house. I said, yeah, I'm not gonna go to your mother's house. You come to my mother's house. Yeah, I'm at my mother's house right now. I sent you the location, please. I'm waiting for you. I was on live for 2 hours. Nigga didn't show up. Okay, cool. Then I hear that he goes to, I don't know if you know WHP's wife, Lerato Sengat, Fly. He goes to her party, and I was invited, so he thought I might be there. So I hear that, yo, this nigga was looking for you. He thought you were gonna come. Why didn't you come? Yeah, this nigga wanted you. So I'm like, how? This nigga wanted me? So then there's another event that's happening. Younger Chief was doing an event in Santon. So I'm like, oh, okay, clean. Let me pull up to this event. Then he arrives at the event. And I was like, oh, clean. So he's hiding there somewhere, Konin. Konin. So I go up to him. I was like, yo, nigga, I heard you were looking for me. He's like, yo, you better leave right now. I was like, no, this is a fucking event. You better leave if you feel uncomfortable. I'm not leaving. Then he tries to swing at me. That was over for him. He swung at this.
You guys had a physical altercation?
Yeah, he swung at me, but he came so slowly. I just stood there while I was waiting to see. Okay, wait, is he aiming for my left or my right? I ducked. I dragged him down. Dog, I had him lying on the floor. 4 bouncers had to come take me. And pick me up.
You know it's
Nota ushaye uStoey T.
azange tumshaye uthe
That's why-
umdakhile wombamba umdonsa phansi.
Yeah,
But it's possible.
it's judo.
It's
judo.
possible though.
It's judo. No, I
possible.
did because I jumped onto the back of his neck with a knee.
George Floyd.
Yeah, flying George Floyd. Not lean. No, I jumped. George Floyd.
It's possible.
It's possible. No, it's possible. With a big person.
Dog, I ripped him apart. His
I'm saying
clothes
you
were
being tough
torn.
doesn't mean you being big or tough doesn't mean
No,
you
we
can
know
fight.
that. That's a fact. That's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is possible.
No, I'm just saying, Guti, Nje. Okay. I like it to me.
So then
in
he, yeah,
the volume.
yeah.
You think it's in the top 10?
It's not in my top 10, but in other people's top 10, it may be.
So you see, there's 2 people there.
But
that
who are
really-
those people?
No.
See, there's two
No,
people.
I'm just saying,
I
but who are
did
those
not
two?
say- look,
no,
look.
I'm not saying who are they in terms of their names. I'm saying, tell me what type of people they are.
wouldn't
Where
call
did they
them
grow up? What environment? Where did they go to
Different
school?
environments.
How do they speak English?
Different-
You understand what I'm
different
saying?
people. No, I don't know. I don't
You
know.
understand?
So
So
wena ke manje ngifuna ukuthi ngifonelwe ke manje. Hey kana wena ukuphi
Mlotshwa
manje?
like,
you go to
Let
me tell you something. You go to Wanderers. You go to Wanderers. Taxi rank.
Yeah.
You play songs I've produced, written, or made. The whole place is shaking.
But that's
Name one.
unfair.
No, name one. Come on.
You
don't know Nota's catalog.
It doesn't matter. You don't need to
I
know
want to
it.
know.
You don't need to know it.
Oh, what do
You
you
don't need
mean?
to know it. You don't need to know it.
No, that
you
is
don't need to
right.
know it. It's
Nota's
fine.
catalog.
But I'm just
Oh,
saying.
one.
You don't need to know
I would
it.
like to know one.
But you must
I would
remember,
like to know one.
When I was 18,
Please may I know
hold
one
on.
song?
When I was 18, when I was in high school,
You're being unfair.
when I was in high
You
school,
can't do that.
How do I know?
No, please wait a bit. Please wait a
He
bit.
didn't say he sings the song.
No,
He
but
said
wait.
he's doing his
catalog.
He owns. He does this.
written or produced.
It doesn't matter.
But that's on the back
But I'm
end.
saying you can't.
But that's on the back
But
end.
it's his
No, it's not.
catalog. But
If
that's
I write the song,
irrelevant.
that's the front end. That's the thing.
No, but I'm saying with Tina, who's sitting in Newcastle as an example, we're not listening. We're not cheering.
Mina in
for my
Newcastle,
Nota.
I've got fans that point me out, that sing my song when I walk in the streets of
No
Newcastle.
one's fighting you now. I'm saying Guti at the time. When
When I'm at, what's this, Black Steer
You've been
Casino.
doing this shit since you were 12, right? So I'm saying Guti back then, let's say I'm in varsity, whatever.
Sure.
I'm listening to a song on the radio.
You don't know that Nota is involved in that.
I don't know
track.
the song is involved, and it's not like the whoever is the DJ on the station.
Okay,
Okay,
is saying,
so do you follow Maskandi?
I do follow my stand.
Like follow.
not like follow.
You understand what I'm saying? You know that the people that follow Maskandi,
Yeah.
right? They know each and every single artist. They know what's this. Like
Yes.
I'm just talking about taxi drivers. They don't play music. They don't do music,
Yeah.
but they follow it. You
So
understand
your
what I'm saying?
music is like niche.
I've done Bakanga, I've done Istratamia, I've done
So you don't-
Maskandi,
so
I've
you don't
done
tell me one song that you think I
I'm
might
just
know.
saying, I'm just saying everything. You,
Okay,
you don't
tell-
know.
tell me a song that
I
you
did
think I might
a Bakanga song called Mfazwe Pep with Kid X and Young Chief. That song to this day, I can't just walk through the streets of Durban. To this day, me just walking.
Not because you're controversial on X.
No,
but
because
of-
people love that song.
You're sitting with a god.
You understand what I'm saying? So the
Not
people
a
that
riser.
listen to music in the north and Santon, they don't even know that song. You understand? But the people who that song is for, that audience,
So what song that you've at least produced?
no, everything.
Give me one example.
Ingodu is a song that's known by
Go to
Abedu.
the question.
How?
Yes. Oh, Marai Luena.
I even called it Ngud just so that it could play on white stations so that they could say it.
Not that. Wait. I know that it was your record company.
And
What, so what did you do to that
I
song?
produced it. As in, this is the song that we're making.
Yes.
Sharp.
The fact that it comes from his company is done. Isn't that enough?
It actually is enough.
It's enough. It's like, oh, mfethu. Oh, mfethu. Kanti ufuna wena?
Angazi.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ufuna nje ukufake oven manje.
Yabona mfethu.
Even not that I'm a Niger banda. I'm just saying there are other niggas
They
that
are scared of
observe.
the
I'm saying there's a
possibilities.
nigga who's insecure, who sees around this spirit that yo, I'm a baller. I ain't
But you've never ever pushed the narrative of
Ngithatha intombi.
Ngithatha intombi zabantu,
But think about
it, don't.
or like I'll floss that I've done this or
But
you've
think about
never
it,
done
Donjab.
that.
The Niger superpower is spending.
That's it.
And the thing about spending is not enough. There's another superpower that Nota will have.
but
so
Uno- but
the
Unota-
person becomes afraid of that
But
thing.
Unota has never, and I'm
He doesn't have to push it.
I
Njalo.
don't.
But he's never had. So I'm saying, Wuti,
Oh,
for
why are you afraid
example,
of it? Yeah, I'm talking.
like if for example, let's take we're talking about this earlier, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is not talking about the fact that he's like a black belt jiu-jitsu guy. He's a fighter.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't. So when he walks in,
Yeah, he
I
talks
don't-
about it with other judo guys.
I don't have to Joe Rogan. Because he's not pushing that. So it's not an intimidating thing. It's, oh my God, it's Joe Rogan, I get excited. You understand? So it's more like, Intellis.
No, never. No, but you see, the thing about Nigerians, they've got a hierarchy.
Controversial.
No, they've got a very classist system.
Okay.
Their country is very classist. We're not as classist. So there, it's really classist. So they know, okay, when the guy
Hierarchy.
knows, oh, this guy is a music guy, executive, big man. You understand? Already.
Oga.
You understand? I don't need to have money, but they know that in what he does, he is that guy. So therefore, you are that guy. Sure. And that's in Niger, it's universal. When you're that guy amongst the Niger,
have you ever spoken about foreigners with Ike? Come on. Ike says things on camera that you are scared to say off camera.
I've got some Nigerian uncles.
You say things on camera that I wish I could say off camera.
Like what?
This and that. This and that.
and I was saying this, and I've said this so many times. There's a reason why. What's the time?
It doesn't matter. No, I don't need to leave at all.
So there's a reason why certain people become huge personalities, whether you like them or not. From Kanye or Nota, because these guys are so authentic and they say things, even if you don't agree with them.
Yeah.
You wish you had the balls to be able to say it, whatever it may be. You know, whether you're talking about the political side, what's happening in Gaza, we're scared for obvious reasons. Or when we were talking earlier about the fact that there's a certain class of women that you're attracted to, you know, and you're not attracted to just the Maslay queens, what you need. There's a caliber and a checklist. You will say that publicly.
Yeah, and also there's a certain class of women that have been with certain men that make them out of the question.
Ike says that.
Yeah, I saw that Ike saying that. I was like, yeah, I'm the same nigga.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm the same nigga. There's like,
topic, woman.
I know.
Yeah, let's go. So what are you guys saying? Is it repeat?
A woman, let's say that you really like, you have a crush on, and then you find out who she's been with.
No, you can't say.
It's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
Okay, it's over.
Are you intimidated by the guy?
Yes. No, not intimidated.
No,
disgusted.
Not intimidated. Disgusted. Perfectly. There's certain things where I'm like, so that's the decisions that you make?
Like, like at
least like I'm not intimidated the fact to promote Barack. I was like, yes, this is powerful. Barack. Yes, this is powerful. But
from president to president.
But imagine don't go so now. Bullshit me no Barack ya bona sa. Common fact like But imagine she was with the fucking no boy. I mean, it's enough for me to say I'm good though.
No, that's why
I think you guys are lying.
I can walk into the club without wanting to.
You guys are lying. Depending on the body, you might want to do a white night and smash and out.
If you pull a ninja bomb once off, we're not talking about that. We're talking about dating. Right? I'm talking about dating.
I don't smash.
Not be careful.
Visually. I smash emotionally. You know what I mean? No, don't say that.
I need to be attracted to her mind.
No, not like that. Not like that. Emotionally. Sometimes she doesn't stand a chance. She's lacking self-confidence. She needs someone to just,
That's where you get excited.
Like, no, not that I get excited. I just feel bad. I'm like,
you've got a superhero complex.
Yes, he does. Knight in shining armor.
You know what I mean? So like,
So that means you like cycles.
Well, no.
I know that. Like Nota.
He likes those chubby. He wants to save them.
No.
It's not about chubby. No, it's not about chubby. No, it's not about.
I've only smashed 3 chubby girls in my life.
Okay.
No, I'm serious.
It's not about a chubby girl. It's about I can save her. There's an issue with her, and I'm going there to be the savior. I used to have a friend like that.
Yeah.
So
zonke itshere zakhe uyabasave une mental illness or ufuna
That's
ukuzibulala
why
or
I
something.
said on Penwell, I've never met a damsel I didn't want to say. I never met a hoe I didn't want to save.
Yes.
That's what I said on that episode.
Yeah icaba ready
You know what I mean?
inamasimba ready ayingifuni
Yeah, it's terrible.
I've never done that.
ufuna
It's
ukusave
terrible.
abantu
It's like, ish. You understand?
No, I get at times being attracted to someone that you can, but not what it must be now. It defaults.
No, I'm just saying it's like, ish. I don't know. Also, the women that talk to me, like, they must have some level of craziness because most women like find me intimidating, right? So the ones that have the confidence is because they're crazy, right? Yeah, it's because it comes from nothing. It's their own delusion that gives them that confidence to bang approach. I know that. Because unani vele, like, you know what I mean? Like, no. So now I find myself in a position where, like, I accept that women will come into my life to use me for something, as a crutch, as a, you know what I mean? And ish.
Do you feel like you use them for something as well? Like if you've got a superhero complex, then they might be feeding into that as well. Because if they're using you as a crutch for whatever they may need, and you're like, okay, sharp, I've just helped another one go from rags to riches, or one from this to that, or does that maybe also feed into?
No, it's got nothing to do with that. Actually, it's like, okay, the savior complex is like a general persona thing, so it doesn't just affect relationships.
Okay.
The thing about
even with chains, like
just in general,
yeah,
it's like, you know what I mean? You know,
if you see a chain that you think he needs a leg up,
it's like I see your brother, he's being attacked. They're calling him a sellout, what.
Yeah.
All these funny, unsavory things.
Every Tuesday. Yeah.
Now that, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to call him and say, hey, Ndona yam, yazin, get better, but don't worry, I'm going to help you. I'm just going to step in. Whether he likes it or not, whether he likes my approach or not. Yeah. And I'm betting that given time to assess my actions.
As a bulldozer, and he could even make it worse.
Yeah.
He comes in not asking.
Yeah.
Sometimes. You ask them to you're fighting with someone. Judo just comes and start throwing doesn't even know who's on our side.
Yeah.
Anything that's close to me, we're shy. What's going for my 6 guys?
And then man tatangiti, sure. Hi, no grand. No grand. Maramachita fit. How for the bingers. As long as grand, it's fine. You know what I mean? So that's the type of person I am. Sure. So now the things that when it comes to the relationship game, the relationship is where you get back what you put in. Do you understand? Oh, that's your expectation.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me suffer in relationships, is that the people that come to me, right, that know or that exploit my vulnerability, they don't...
Vulnerable in what sense?
Like in terms of the savior complex. You understand? The people that come through, they don't have the same thing. So they're not saying, yeah, you're saving me and I'm saving you and we're saving each other. You understand? It's like, yeah, I'm being saved. I'm taking whatever I can from this person. And then...
That's where things get fucked up.
Yeah. And that also makes that part of you very guarded. But now, the thing is this, is that, let's say you've got bulletproofing, right? That doesn't mean you're bulletproof. It means you've got something over what you really are.
So you open it up, you let them in, you close the bulletproof.
Yeah, understand what I'm saying? But not even about closing the bulletproof. Even if I'm bulletproof, armored, I'm still a soft thing. Like what I actually am is a soft thing. Forget the fact that you are seeing the bulletproof armor, because you and I see the bulletproof. I'm still the soft thing. You know what I mean? So it then, I guess, it makes it difficult to then say, no, this person could see that they're going to exploit me or they can exploit my kindness. You know what I mean? Because it's like, yeah, but I put on the shield. I'm strong. You know what I mean? I look like I've got everything covered. I look like I can handle it all. You know what I mean? Whether I'm paddling underwater. So the person probably assumed that, no. You know what I mean?
Going back to the initial comment, and I'm sorry to bring this up because it was set off camera. You were saying, you were just using just a random example. Guti, as an example, you don't date a girl that doesn't drive.
Yeah.
Or
doesn't have
a car.
A post-matric.
Who?
Post-matric.
What does have a post-matric?
Yeah.
So a person who just is not qualified in
yeah. No, you can't.
Diploma.
Imagine.
Yeah, but you could...
diploma.
At least the diploma. No, but she can't even polish her CV.
Angeke ngishade uzingani uthi ngishade ubaba.
Hawu namanga.
Ungamanga. You don't know my life. I was phela ngiphuma phela mina kade.
No. I'll be honest.
But I want to ask that question. Because if there's one thing that I'm forever talking about, I'm talking about the relationship, I'm talking about the family unit, and I'm talking about just the dating market has just gone to shit. And you've alluded to things. For example, you're not about that guy that pops bottles and takes random girls from clubs. You don't date a girl who can't build her own. In the
who I don't respect.
Yes, and part of who you don't respect is a woman who can't, for example,
Finish
build
matric.
herself past matric or be able to put together some money to buy a car.
They can't invest in herself. Like, matric is your parents' investment, right? Everything post-matric is you investing in yourself. Because now you're an adult.
So, man, a diploma, you don't.
She can't even invest in herself.
So, if she doesn't have a car,
The car is the secondary.
The car is one of the things.
Is the main thing.
The car means that you can pay a car installment. You can pay a car installment because you can get a certain level of job. You can get a certain level of job because you've got a certain qualification.
Yeah, they're all linked.
So, what do you think about the caliber of girls that are out there?
I mean, I don't even think about them. I don't consider them.
Huh? So much actually.
Dude, I almost said
Why?
something hectic.
Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say. No, say it.
No, the thing is this. You see, for me, it's like, let's say,
in and out.
if I dated girls that are just whatever below my standards, I wouldn't respect them. So I wouldn't value the relationship. I'd cheat on them. I'd be, you know what I mean? I'd be playing them around. I'd be juggling them.
Because you don't respect them.
Because it's not like I die if I lose them. But now the woman that I've got, or whichever woman I've dated or whatever, it's because I saw that, oh, this one brings something that I don't want to lose.
Okay, so your partner, parallel universe. So you in a beautiful relationship, we respect that. Now there's a secondary universe where you're single and you have a lot of female acquaintances. Such as a business call that you were on earlier today with a certain lady. Is that the caliber of lady that you strive for?
Hell yeah,
It's
man.
not even that I strive for.
Hey, no, I see you smiling there, man. I see you smiling there.
It's my lane. They're the ones in my space. It's a proximity thing. If I was in the medical field, it would be,
No, that's right.
within that.
There's no way that a girl that works at KFC will call you Nota. The space does not allow.
You eat KFC?
No,
No,
I'm
I
saying
don't
that the
actually.
space that is in
I don't
won't allow
actually.
it.
I don't.
So
I complained the
already-
last time your brother made me eat KFC.
Already the space that you chowed it.
I had the chips.
And it was
I finished the chips.
It was here.
Yes, because I remember coming here, dog. I'm eating. Chippy.
I got my chips.
Wash out one boy, and it was, I think he chowed like 2 boxes or something. They wash out one man. They went to it was like wash out one.
But Nota is fortunate that the space that is in already dictates that he must meet a certain type of woman.
You understand, Jerome?
Yeah,
So
but
he will never
but
meet.
he also finds himself because of work in certain clubs, in certain.
That's what I'm saying. He will
events.
never meet a girl that
Certain
doesn't
things.
have a trick.
No, I want to say clubbing.
Today. I'm saying today.
But I'm saying, but
I don't
he
take
sees
girls
those
home from the clubs.
You
I
can't.
see
You
them, I
can't
don't
do
take
that,
them.
man. You can't take a girl from a club.
I agree.
I've never paid to home.
No, but that's a different thing.
No, it's not.
It's like going to like a
summit or
brothel
something, man.
like
No,
that.
not summit. Let's say I go to.
We talking about like club like
No. I'm talking about. I'm putting it in that perspective.
Summit Royale. You've
No,
never.
no. I've been to. I don't know. No,
Yeah,
I've been to
but-
summit.
no,
I've
but
that's
worked
what you
there.
mean,
I've done
Lucas.
gigs. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the high end ones, right? Like here in Santon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everything else. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, Mina, let's say a friend of mine is having his birthday. Yo, let's come to the club, whatever.
Yeah.
I will chill in the corner. This will come sit next to me. Have a conversation, what. Then tell me, yo, I knock off at such and such a time. As in, when you'll come and you'll say, yo, can I get a lap dance? She'll say, yeah, 2,000 rand. She'll do it right in front of me.
take away
Mina,
take away the
yeah.
normal club.
Like booth
A
and
lady
all of
comes, whichever club,
Sharp.
and the sister comes and sits next to you and you have a conversation. Average lady,
Yeah.
but looks top 10.
But that's a problem. That's a problem.
Nah, I'm saying. I wanted the clarity.
That's
I just wanted the clarity. Like
That's a problem.
She's a 10 out of 10.
You understand? Like, you can't let the ladies disrespect you and play with you as well.
Moving swiftly along.
Yeah.
So, again, in today's cancel culture, you're saying you're uncancelable. And for you, the reason why you're saying it is because of obviously family and those variables and those dynamics. On your journey, you know, your personal life has been very, very public. Of which, like, if it's for me, family is everything. Like, I will talk shit about you. I'll call you out, but I have no right to be talking about your mom, your partner, your this, your that. I feel like there's always a line, and people don't have that.
No, they don't.
Where are you now in terms of your own journey of healing, and where are you going?
Well, I don't really believe in healing.
Huh?
Yeah, I believe in scarring.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a scar is like where you healed, but there's no longer pain. There's just a mark
That reminds
where
you of.
where you were hurt.
Why did you cut your fingernails, Tom?
Because I'm regrowing them. It's a long process. I used to bite my nails. I stopped. The mere fact that I can grow my nails this long means I've stopped a habit that is very difficult to break. Many years have been taken from me because of the nail biting. In terms of my nail growth, just to
Out of anxiety.
no, it's just it's a habit that started in primary school, and I never thought it was bad until
Till
I
today,
saw
man,
pictures
look at my nails.
of
Till
people with
today.
short nails.
Yeah.
So,
my nails are glistening and shining.
for me, like, when I went through my darkest moments and everything else, you know what I mean? What I do, I said, okay, what have I not done? Okay, what do I still need to prove to myself? And I said, I can still be who I think I am in a completely new environment. You know what I mean? If I'm like, okay, me,
Is that when you went to the States?
yeah, but it's not just the States. It's when I went to New York. It's a different game. I'm the king of Joberg. Nobody knows me in New York. Can I make it? Can I survive? Can I move?
Because you were there for a minute, bro.
Yeah, a whole entire year. So, you know.
Dollar. $1.
Yeah,
What
and-
was I laughing with the pound is 25 rand?
Yeah, and the dollar was around the same price it is right now. Then
Back then.
it was 19. Yeah. So, you know,
For
for
you
me,
just eating noodles and brown bread.
no. What? No, I was eating groceries, dog. I was cooking. I was eating spaghetti. I was buying groceries, dog. Groceries like what? Cost me like maybe $150 to $200 a month for groceries. But I was staying with my friends, so we were sharing
Oh, and then
apartments. Yeah, but not that we were sharing our food. Just we were sharing stove, whatever. You know what I mean? But you don't need that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I was buying
going.
like a daily coffee for $2.
Yeah, you did say, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bagel for $5.
Guys, you must times it by 19.
Yeah, times it by 20. Just you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for Radolf.
Yeah, it's 140 rand.
Every day.
Well, breakfast. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I mean, like, I could buy croissants. Like, I could buy 6 croissants. A croissant is 69 cents, 70 cents for a croissant.
Sure.
So I'd buy croissants. I'd buy eggs. You know,
Okay, well,
I'd
not now.
buy.
The eggs there are billion rand an egg. No?
It was the same. It was
Serious?
there. I think I bought for $4. I bought 6.
Say, what?
Yeah.
80 rand for 6 eggs. Back then.
Was it? Hold on. Was it 6 or no? It was dozen. 12. Sorry. Damn it.
How many pounds? 80 rand.
In the it doesn't be 6.
You can't believe one rand 50 point. Yeah, I want to take it dozen. I get
Yeah, 6. But it's half a dozen.
Yeah, 9
Why
rand.
am I dozen?
9 rand, 151. Hey, how much it? How much
But that's how much it was.
So
For
you
those
went through
dozen eggs at
the
the
healing
corner.
process, Mongara.
It wasn't
The
really hitting.
scarring
I was
process, yeah.
Just like, yo, I'm this nigga.
Head down.
Like, yeah, I'm grinding. I'm able to do whatever I need to do. I'm able to sell whatever I need to sell. I mean, I did a lot. Like, I helped my homie with a movie premiere for Sia Kolisi's documentary. at the Tribeca Film Festival, which is Robert De Niro's film festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it ended up winning the award for Viewers' Choice Award. You know what I mean? And I was the one who filled up that cinema with people.
Do you think, because I understand the scoring. The scoring, one, it's almost like the skin is tougher. Secondly, it's a reminder for you not to how strong you are.
Every day.
But do you think sometimes we run the, especially with the person like you, where you run the risk maybe of not truly going through it, purely because you are go. I'm in the limelight. I need to work. There's people that rely on me. There's people I need to pay salaries on. There's all that thing. Do you sometimes feel, because you used Sia Kolisi, and I remember when he was going through, or whether he's still going through the public separation with his now ex-wife, yet he still needs to run on the field and produce.
He needs to win the breakup.
You know.
That's the first mission. That's the first thing. Because she's competing for the breakup. Every woman is competing to win the breakup. You understand what I'm saying? So the first move, you need to be like, I can do what you cannot do. Your first move is like, if your first move is like, I can just keep quiet and be silent and work on myself and build up for my next move. So like maybe my first year of separation, no one even knew I was separated for like 6 months while I was separated. That it happened until, she lost her mind and decided she wanted to make it a thing. But then she started the clock. That's the clock. That the clock starts to say, who's going to win this breakup? So the first initial part, always, it's the sympathy is with the woman. You've lost the girl. So that's the time to keep quiet.
Yeah.
Let her waste all her energy. Then make sure that she cannot scroll through YouTube. She cannot scroll through TikTok. She cannot scroll through anything. She cannot date a new boyfriend without it being omnipresent. Just imagine how small her world becomes. She can't buy bread without a guy who works at the garage, who sees her face and knows that that's the girl you broke up with. Do you understand?
How do you do that?
It's not by my doing. Yeah. It's what she chose. You chose a guy who's on a mission. And this mission is going here. He tells you all his plans.
So you started.
If you fall off on the mission, you're going to watch the rocket go into space.
Damn. Because the reason why I'm saying
you like the booster that comes back down to it.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying this is because with my breakup with my ex-partner, I feel like out of every human being that I know, I've been the luckiest with the mother of my kids. Because she's just been amazing.
Yeah, but you guys have kids.
No, but I'm saying, Guti, how many guys do you hear about the baby mama drama?
It's by.
Not access to.
Guys love that.
But I'm saying, Guti,
they love that drama. Guys, the truth of the matter is that guys love baby mama drama. Let me tell you why.
Sure.
It shows that you've got power over her. If she still wants to punish you, deep down inside, you feel the punishment, but you know that it comes from love.
Yeah, but like, look, you can say you might have the power in terms of that energy, if that's what you're looking for. But if you don't have access to your kids in any form, as an example.
So what?
So for them, it's
imagine
so what?
Imagine if you didn't have an access to your father for those formative years.
Yeah.
Let's just say the first 12. Sure. We might not, and I'm not saying...
From the time I was on speaking, from IMM, from the time I went to IMM, till the time we swept at the Summers, me and my dad went on speaking.
No, but it's different because you're already a man.
Now,
I'm saying about
I
formative
know the formative years, right? Now, as a child, there can be male figures and everything else. So yes, there can be damage that's done, but it's not fatal, right?
It's not fatal. I'm just saying, Guti, a child is little for a short time. They're big for a long time.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but
so as an adult,
right?
My bet is that if I'm not the bad actor, as the father, staying away from my kid, and I'm trying everything I am, that's good enough for my kid. When they become an adult,
the challenge,
the decision then decides is on them now.
The challenge that I have, whether you think about the ancient Chinese philosophers, your Plato's, your what, that say, give me a boy till he's 7, I'll show you the man, right?
Sure.
Because again, we can't negate the fact that Nota had an amazing mother and father and grew up in a certain environment.
Not just mother and father. Father, grandparents, aunt, uncles.
So family.
So
that's what I'm saying.
And he had to view what is happening in the northern suburbs and the Kas. Best of both worlds. So his brain, compared to the Ndakis and Ungamla in the north, it's...
I can make it in the hood. I can make it in the burbs.
So when Ungapananga, that is crucial.
It's crucial.
Let's say you only Dilako then said, actually, screw this, I'm going to go move in a flat away from me time. I'm saying with you, we might not have. I'm not, obviously, we never know.
Obviously.
You know, because it's a 50 cent
Yeah,
story.
but it would be the other thing. My dad would have to move into the flats.
But I'm just saying, it's the 50 cent story. Because 50, they ask him, Guti, if you had your mom and dad, how amazing would you be? And he says, I don't know, because not having a mom and dad made me 50.
Yeah, but he had his grandfather.
He had a grandfather and a grandmother.
Which is a mom and dad.
Yeah,
which
it is.
Which is fine. They'll ask about his actual mom and dad.
I know,
So
but
there's
it's not as important. Like my mom was an orphan. She had her uncles and her aunts and her grandparents.
Yeah.
So her grandfather and her grandmother. You know what I mean? Like my parents got married. Well, my parents met, right? And then they were about to get married. So then my dad got introduced to my great grandfather, my mom's granddad, and then he died.
Sure.
After that, and then he died after that.
Who died?
My great grandfather.
Grandfather. Yeah.
After
The intro.
seeing that his great granddaughter, his firstborn
Is in good hands.
grandchild, he died.
Yeah, I get you.
Are you planning to have kids?
Yeah, of course.
You
I'm
have to.
only 35.
You have to.
I didn't have kids because I knew that
You're still on the
I was
mission.
being milked.
What?
I Nota.
That's my thing. Not that I'm milked financially.
Your rocket is going too high now, Rota.
Let me tell you. So, when
Milked by Ba.
by my wife.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like-
what he said. That's what I'm saying. The rocket is going too high.
It's not that.
Okay.
She wasn't milking. You guys got it milking.
No, never. There's nothing that she
Milky
brought to me.
Lane.
There's nothing that she
Milky
brought to me.
Lane.
There's nothing that she brought to me. So I'll put it to you like this.
Nota.
I'm serious.
It's tough.
She
It's
came to me to help her put together her career. That's what she came to ask me.
Okay, let's move away from the
No,
wife.
no,
Let's move away from
I'm
that.
just putting
leave
this.
another bit.
I'm
No,
saying, now, I'm explaining it. I'm explaining.
You can't
Now,
stop this thing.
yeah,
We're a
her
podcast.
career-
We're not TV.
her
You can't
career
stop us.
would be disrupted by having children. So me, if you come to me and you say, please help me with my career. That's how our relationship starts. Forget us dating. Once we're starting dating, the first thing is still, please
primary
help me
focus, help me with my career. Yeah.
So I can't say, hey, Sesiajola, man. I mean, I'll take care of everything. Just have babies.
Sure.
You don't need to be on tour or
but
anything
you
like
could
that.
have.
So I could have, but I made that sacrifice to honor the first promise that
Exactly.
I made.
Oh, okay, got
Do you
you.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got you,
So
got you.
I honored the promise. Even when she changed her mind about anything, yeah, let's have babies. Let me get off birth control and everything else. I said, no. Yeah, why? Because I was like, if I help her break this promise that she made to herself that she wants to be able to progress in her career to a
might
point it's
be a
self-sustainable,
resentment.
she will then resent me.
Yeah.
So I made that sacrifice again. Savior complex helped me justify that to myself, but I made that sacrifice again. You understand? When she realizes that she's not going to just be able to get what she wants out of me and be a yo-yo and up and down. Like, this month she wants this, and I'm like, no, I don't do that. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. You're not gonna change the sway. And then she's like, you know what? Actually, I prefer a man who just does anything I feel like needs to be done at any point in time. Then that's the end of the relationship, right? So for me, it's like, phew, thank goodness I don't have to deal with baby mama drama.
Now you're in a beautiful relationship. When are we having kids?
Again, I've got time, bro. I've got time.
She doesn't have time though.
She does have time.
Oh, does she have time? Oh,
I
that's
mean,
cool.
she does have time.
okay.
She doesn't. Like, my aunt just had a baby now. My latest cousin just got born. My aunt is 46. I know she was also my great aunt's last born who came late.
46, you had a child.
She just had a child right now at 46. Yeah. But she had no children the whole time. She's been in a relationship for many, many years.
Okay,
You understand? So, like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Always
My
serious.
mother had me at 35. No, 33. My mother had me at 33. My dad was 48. No, 38, not 48, sorry. He had my brother at 40, he had me at 38, and had my sister at 32.
How old is your parents?
Man, I think my parents had me when they were 16, 17.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let me check.
Ubeshayela ngama-statutory ngaba nangaba.
Afusekwe.
Abazalwane bobabili
No, it's not statutory. It's not statutory.
Yeah, it's not. It's
I
not.
think they
It's
were
not.
young, man. I was just check.
No, but like it's such. So anyway, I feel like I'm so blessed when I hear so many of my close friends, family members in certain spaces feeling the pain. Because as much as you can say, Guti, I may have power over this lady, you still want to have access to your kids.
That's very important.
And I've got too much access at times with my kids.
Marakan, they say if your
Mina,
baby
there's
mama,
too much.
if
They
your
just say,
baby
yeah,
mama,
yeah,
they're not
tati.
as well. They say if your baby mama says no to you having access to your kids, they say that make another one. Forget about that one.
Yeah, but I made another one.
So if you don't have access, forget about that.
No, but I have access. I mean, I've got too much.
No, I'm just
access.
saying generally. That's
Yeah.
I've heard
So,
that.
No, but I'm just saying, Guti, like it's such an interesting thing because when you think about Nota and
So just check out something. I also want to show you something. Nah, I'm not done yet, right? But it's not gonna be on camera. Just don't say anything. Don't
not gonna
read.
say it.
Don't just read. You see?
yeah.
Right. Right. I just need to send that because I'm replying to.
Why would you send that?
No. I'm just sending. Right.
Why would you send that?
No.
Why would you say that?
No, I'm just saying.
To me, hey, now.
He's talking about his son.
Hectic.
Ish, bro.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But when I say
I'm
that to-
saying
when I say
that's
that to
my
you-
mentor. One of my mentors.
But tell that you
talking about
controversial
how
things a little
his son. You must remember, his son is doing well. It's like, hey, your boy, intwana yakho ngoba uyifakile gaming.
Yeah.
You understand? Uyongifakile gaming yena. And mina sengifakile.
Ufaka abanye, yeah, ngiyakuthola.
Ngifaka ingosi yakhe.
Sure.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
obviously he's got other
How
things that
old is this lighting?
24 now. Probably 22, 23. He's a young kid, but I'm just saying. So you must know because the dad is now in politics actively.
Yeah,
But I'm just saying. But it's not even about that. But I'm just saying
actively in politics.
actively.
Yeah.
So he can't do. He
Yes.
abandoned that other side of his life and his.
Yes.
So, but I'm just saying.
I'm fucking rapping now.
So for people, right? They don't understand that when you are at that position of executive.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, you know, he's up there with I'm a goat.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yo, for my son's career to be in the best hands.
I'm putting him in your hands.
For me, that says everything I need to
That's
say
the impact in
about
the
my
music
work.
industry is big. Eh?
Yeah, no,
huge.
what my work does, that says everything.
I don't think that people know.
Yeah.
And he never speaks about it. We speak about Nota's thing.
The
The
controversial
antics,
stuff.
yeah.
But off camera, he tells you about how he actually survives of music. He told me once, I'm like, God damn it. That's why he can say what he wants to say from a financial perspective.
Yeah.
Then there's obviously the family thing that as long as I've got my family, it doesn't matter what anyone says.
Yeah.
But from a financial perspective,
Clearly.
he's figured out the game that
Yeah.
I can say whatever I want to say.
Yeah.
Because you can't impact my pocket.
You can't kill it.
And it's, what you're saying, that it's based off.
You can't touch my family and you can't touch my pocket.
Yeah, and it's based off what he figured out about the music industry. He figured out from whoever. It's like, God damn. Okay, that means I'm rich. Not rich, but I'm good forever.
Yeah, I'm good.
I can survive. I can't speak on his behalf, but he's told me.
I
can go to New York for a year
I can't speak on his behalf, but he's told me.
and have bagels every morning.
What I learned from the greats.
Go to the highest nightclubs, go to whatever, go to Texas, fly down to Texas, hire myself a Tesla, drive to Elon Musk's rocket launch.
And you know what I've learned?
Why must invite him to New York?
You'd have to pay for yourselves. You know what I mean? No, it's like
Same complex, same.
And I'll tell you what I like about it. Obviously, he has got the right to speak about what he told me of Kevin about how he's actually making it because of
course,
what he learned from the greats in the USA. And that one single contract that he signed that has made him be good from a financial perspective. That's what I'm trying to figure out also in my life.
What do you mean?
So Tenafet, we produce a lot of content, whether it's SABC, Showmax, DSTV. That's not enough because you've got limit in what you can say. I've got a limit. I can't say Kukos Baker, da. Because Untanga make sure that the business is sustainable because we produce for his company. So what I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out what is the thing that I can go into that gives me the ability to say what I want. Because I want to express myself.
But you're starting most with this channel. You're creating
content,
and eventually you might create docus, series,
Exactly,
all those things, and they might live off a website or whatever the case may
Anything
be.
unregulated.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the gatekeeping is what matters. So you can't say what you like if you're in mining. Why? Because you need the minister to support you and give you your mining license or whatever. Any of those things. I don't need a certificate or thingamajig to release music. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I've always said, like, especially from the guys that are in the film game.
But the reason why you've really fucked shit up is because you've unpacked what happens behind the curtain.
Yeah, I unpacked what happens behind the curtain, right? And I created a company around that. So I saw that who matters in the music industry? It's the record labels, the record labels owner. How can I make sure that the record labels need me? The first thing I did was social media. It was just starting. They don't know it. I knew social media. I studied it from MySpace days. The reason why we were able to do events was because we were able to promote our events on social media. So we were able to outcompete all the other club promoters that had been in the business because they weren't.
Because when they need to now advertise on radio or whatever the
understand?
maybe,
I don't know.
They went the traditional route.
There was this other company called Juice. It was run by a guy called Sipo Hlacheni, I think, from Cape Town. When my sister was still in UCT, when I was still in primary school. Like, she used to tell me, the juice parties are the ones that, the best parties in Cape Town. They do events and everything else. So, I was still in primary school. But when my sister would come back from holiday, she'd give me, like, a download of, like...
So your sister's
an insight of
6
some
years,
sort.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's 6 years older than me. So she started her first year when I was in grade 7. Yeah. So I got a download. So that's what I was like, this is how the juice works. This is how we've got an emailer, what, and they've got a database and they collect. And she would be like a hostess at some of the events. Like my sister had lots of freedom. She was an actress.
And back then being a hostess is not what it is today.
Yeah,
Just so that people understand. Uguti now, when you talk about hostess, the bottle girls now.
No, those are not hostesses, but
first back then with the Thunder, you remember Thunder? There was also Thunder.
Yeah.
Those hostesses.
Thunder.com.
They were actually hostesses, and it was very clean.
Yeah. So she done waitressing and everything else. But as far as her being a hostess and hosting at these restaurants and everything else, she was able to give me an understanding of those things. And also, her being on TV from a very young age, like from the time I was born, my sister was on TV, in magazines, everything. She was a model, actress, whatever. You know what I mean? She did, she started her first big TV show. She did, she started season 3 of Soul City. That was the one where it was like, okay, now she's really like, she's gone. Gone. As in, like in primary school, when I was in grade 1, every single day that my sister needs to shoot, and that was probably like maybe for 3 to 4 months of the year they were shooting, almost every day or every other day. The school would call her on the intercom to come to the office to go on set in primary school. So now you must know that the entire school knows your sister. So again, my sister's a celebrity. She's presented on KTV. She acts on Soul City. I'm in grade 1 at Sharon Lee Primary. When I arrived, my sister's a celebrity.
Yeah.
She's in grade 7.
Oh, and she's the shock. Grade 7's are the bad boys.
So you could tell that from grade 1, I was hanging around with grade 7s.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Just from proximity, when my sister then goes to high school the next year, when I'm in grade 2, she's going to NSA. When she's at NSA, now she's with all the other shucks. Bonke. Whether it be your Cyphos, your who else was probably there? Sugar Smacks was there. Who else was there? Morel, Sean Pages, Sifako. You understand? I call him Sean Pages. My sister calls him Sifako. when she sees short pay, fuck.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Pero Tonga, she can,
So it's a completely different thing. Elias, when he still had a relax and he was going to school in the south.
Sure.
And him and Bongs and the rest of the crew used to skate in Fourways. Right opposite Fourways High School, there's like a skate park in the park. Yeah. You know what I mean? I used to hang out there as a kid. So proximity to all these things. I mean, that's where Magesh went to school. You understand? Up the road, between Douglasdale and Fourways, well, it's Fourways. That's Magesh's dad's old house. They ended up moving to Mnandi. Not Mnandi, close to Copperleaf in Centurion. They ended up moving to Centurion, like in a farm, in a plot there. But was their hood. You know what I mean? Skule with access and it's everything. It's all around us.
I think access, bro.
Access.
But it's crazy how, I like how you said initially, Guti, it may seem as if everybody in that space made it. But there was thousands upon thousands of kids that didn't. And if you break it down, it's less than 0.0% that actually made it.
It is.
So then it's not just access. It is what do you do
with that access.
What
do you do with the access?
You know,
I remember,
because again, so many people will say, okay, so Nota started, your sister opened doors. I get that line all the time. And it's cool. And I say, yes, he does. You know, but it is what do you do? Because you didn't just sleep on that.
Yeah.
You know, you use
not only that, just think about
knowledge.
Think about
of everyone around you.
Think about my sister opening doors is much more. My dad is calling me, Papa. Nalik shooting again. I'm phone look net. Maranelands in bus. Yeah, I just couldn't pick you up because I was going to be late. Bye.
What language is that?
Huh?
What language is that?
Ninjalo, Nina. Are you petty? It's only petties that are pissed off by you guys. Can I tell you why petties are pissed off by you, by Zulus? Can I tell you why petties are pissed off? No. Because you're the only niggas that mean that they're not the shit. You see, I'm Tonga.
Yeah.
My dad's Tonga. That was Tonga that I was speaking.
Okay.
In Limpopo, the Bedis dominates in terms of numbers. So they're the biggest nation. Tongas are the second biggest nation.
Is it not like the fourth most spoken language in the country?
It doesn't matter because it's a language group that Anyway, let's not complicate things. You got your sister is calling you. So when I look at
the demographics of Zulu versus Pedi.
When I look at the way in which the Pedis behave in Limpopo, amongst us, they behave like they're the shit. They think they're the shit.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is that the Tongas and the Zulus have got a very close relationship.
Yeah.
We actually merged and created a sub-tribe.
Yeah.
The Shangaan.
Yes.
The Shangaan means a marriage between Zulus and Tongas.
Okay.
That's what Shangaan means.
Okay.
So Shangane is a Zulu. Yes. Usoshangane begumzulu.
Okay.
He was with Shaka.
Keep going.
So what he did is that he conquered, right?
Yeah.
Land which was occupied by Tonga speakers.
Okay.
Yes.
Got you.
And then he decided that he's gonna stay there. He's not gonna expand further, and he created a kingdom. And then he birthed these sons, and his sons ruled over that kingdom. The thing about those Tongas, right, is that
I heard a total different thing about the Shangaan people.
Yeah.
From a friend of mine, Ukila, wherever he is, he lied.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So Usoshangane, you can read up about Soshangane. His story is very Soshangane. Then his sons, he had 3 sons, I think, right? And they also ruled over certain parts of the kingdom as they expanded it. But the women, right, when the Soshangane came and conquered them, refused to teach their children Zulu.
The vendor ladies.
The Tongas.
Wait, you said
Soshangane came, occupied them, conquered them, and they said, yes, fine, you can be our ruler, you can be the chief, it's fine. Yes, all of this is yours, it's fine. Yes, we are your wives, we are your women, and everything else, you can have everything, but we are keeping our Tonga. We are speaking Tonga. And that's how the Shangans were made.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very
But now the thing is this.
So why are the Pedis mad then?
Now, you see, so they don't have that connection with the Zulus. So for us as the Tongas, right, we know that you conquered part of us.
Yeah.
right? And we assimilated.
And we merged.
You know, and you guys assimilated to our culture, actually.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the kids ended up speaking our
of
language
course, of
still,
course.
and still speak our language.
Yeah.
So it's like, you conquered us, but...
Not really.
It was like a soft conquering.
Yeah, like-
it was like, okay.
Speak our language to our customers, practice our culture. Yes, you the big boss.
When I was Zulu. It's on now. You understand what I'm saying? We're still gonna practice our culture. We're still gonna wear our checkers. So we have that truce.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Pedis, like they rule in terms of like they because of the apartheid system, they ruled in terms of the Luwa region.
Okay.
Was big. You understand?
Yeah.
Bigger than the Gaza region, bigger than the Vembe region and everything else, because there's a lot of them. So they had dominance within that space.
Yeah.
And they never encountered Zulus and everything else. But they knew that Zulus are there and in Joberg. If you go to Joberg and go to Gauteng, you'll encounter these Zulu people or whatever. And they're a nuisance because there's so many of them. They come from this other big province. So now things are open.
Of course.
Everyone can move everywhere.
And you've got them arrogant Zulus.
And you know what I mean? And the Pedis didn't have enough time to get to a point where they could overcome the Zulus. You know what I mean? So when they meet, it's like, where we from? We're the shit. And we don't fuck with where you're from. And the Zulus are like, when we're from, we're the shit. And we also don't fuck with where you're from.
I didn't know, Muti, Pedi people didn't like Zulu people. When I got to Joburg.
Hate them.
Matsulu.
No, but like, I got to Joburg.
Matsulu.
Here's the thing. We not spoke about this earlier.
Well,
Muti,
let's not say hate.
Okay, dislike.
No. They're just rivals in terms of status.
I wouldn't use the word rival.
No, because you've never like had war and fought and conflict.
No, I'm talking about even in contemporary. And the reason why I'd say rival is like chiefs and pirates. We need to be aware of each other for us to beef.
Yeah.
I'm saying, Muti, you are a big deal in your own right.
Yeah.
I think for the majority of Zulu people that I know, at least, they're not even aware, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
No, it's true. It's true. That's what annoys the Pedis.
I'll tell you why we're not aware. Because we can't differentiate between a Tswana, a Sotho, and a Pedi. So like, no, I'm saying, Muti, like, as much as
I think we're gonna stop shooting this podcast. We're gonna stop shooting this podcast. It's sad.
As much as Pedis may be frustrated, rightfully or wrongfully so, we can't point and say, oh, that's Pedi.
So you guys can hear the dialect. I look next between Setswana and Sotho.
Zulus just know their language, bro.
So I know Pedi can differentiate between a Xhosa and a Zulu.
The only Zulus that know different languages are the ones that studied in Pretoria.
Yeah. They can tell you what
Yeah.
Yeah, the proximity to Ghana.
In Pretoria, that's where they learn and mix.
Oh, a lot of the Zulus that are actually born and bred in Joburg.
Not even.
Not even. I'm telling you, KZN Zulus, ne? Are like this, bro.
Yeah.
Like this. I promise you.
Yeah.
Which is good, man.
We can't tell the difference between Venda, Tonga, Watswati. The ones that maybe if you grew up maybe in the metros, whatever. But if you grew up like Engmutu, you want to take umuntu wase Baba Nangu and say what language that guy is speaking.
So for me, I spent a lot of time in KZN, you know, and I grew up with a lot of Zulu friends. So I've got a lot of Zulu mannerisms, not like in terms of speak, in just terms of like impatoyam as a man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's why I can get along with Zulu guys, and you know what I mean? And also, it's like...
Zulu guys are the nicest guys.
Yeah, they are.
Soft. Gentle.
It's like when Zulu guys sometimes like, it's like, let's say, someone was asking me a question.
Zulu guys are the softest
No, let me say it. Someone was asking me a question the other day. He's like, so what if now, I was in a taxi with this other Zulu guy.
What are you doing in the taxi, Nota?
No, he's telling me a story.
Oh.
But either way, I can climb a taxi. It's 10 rand. I climbed a taxi the other day. I was running from the police. So... No, you don't need to edit it out. I've served my sentence. No, I'm serious.
He was running from the police.
I was WhatsApping Nota.
Yeah, I'm serious. I was running from the police, bro.
Every 2 days, I'm WhatsApping this guy, bro. He's not responding.
Yeah.
Hey, dog. Are you okay? Hey, dog.
Yeah. One tick.
I got your next boy, Pete. Ngasingakwati ngathi fuck him then. Ngiyamcheck boy because manje ngithi the only access that I have to umchita is social media. And social media is now pushing my anxiety up because now he's going to be arrested for life. He's now going to Guantanamo Bay. He's done. Khuluma phela mfethu kwasisha. Idinga malini mfethu khona u300 engufihlile lana esokusini.
See, that's another thing.
Khona imali wami oyiwota uzokubhekela.
So even in prison, that helped me. Just the way I get along.
Were you popular in prison?
I mean, with Zulu niggas.
Oh.
And like the way I get along with Zulu, like I've hung out with Zulu niggas since I was a young pup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
My dad, when he first came to Joberg, stayed in a Zulu hostel.
Yeah,
Okay.
My dad's best friend is a Zulu guy from Mkungunjov. You know what I mean? That's Zulu heartland.
Zulu guys are amazing.
That's
I can tell you, Guti, the most misunderstood tribe is Zulu, and I'll tell you why. Zulu guys.
You don't know anything about other tribes. You only know Zulu.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's why.
let me tell you why. Zulu guys work off the basis, and I've seen this in many spaces, of respect. The only friction comes in
If you disrespect.
when there's because they'll walk. Yeah, when like let's say it's gonna take scene. Let's say you miss it, takes I miss it. Whereas other people may open and just sit down. So how when Tina as existed, that's where the friction comes in. You know, I mean, the biggest thing that I have with my kids every morning when I wake up, every single I'll see them walk downstairs and they'll come through and I'll be like, Sabonan.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be a beat down. So as they bro, just acknowledge my existence. Like when they take food from whoever they take, we go to a shop.
Yeah.
So I was telling you the story about what this guy was telling me.
Oh yeah,
in the taxi. So it's like, yeah, he's just
Thanks for mixing me a drink. You're such a.
he was trying to
because you are slow.
Such a host.
Yeah,
So I
flipping
think he was
slow,
trying to
man.
shift
That's
the guy,
fucking
and
genius, the
the guy was like refusing or giving him cheek. So he's like, I don't know why this Zulu guy was like that. And I was like, wow, ngamtshela ukuthi uzomshaya. So he's like, okay, what do you mean? It's like, no, he's not gonna take it as in you're gonna literally uzongshaya pen. He's gonna be like, yeah, okay, so it's clean. Alright, let me move. That's what you need to do. It's like you need to. If a Zulu guy just does uzongshaya pen now. You know what I mean? And then he's just gonna take it as like, oh, you get me, because that's how they tease. That's how they play. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Stop.
That's all you're saying.
I see that at Red because a lot of us are
Yeah.
the smallest thing. Stop. And then you see other people like, I know Machita stop. And you're like, no.
Like, come on, bro.
Like the mere fact that Nota was saying they got a physical altercation with rapper. I was
dope.
like, wow, God.
Yeah.
Like when last were you like in a physical altercation?
Wait,
Yeah.
when last when? I mean, I don't remember. What?
October. That day. That was the day.
2022.
October,
Was
yeah.
some you in a fight?
That was it. It's still getting.
Yeah, Tikwena.
No, I mean I don't fight.
No, I'm saying
I
when
mean,
was the
I
last
fight
time
a
you were in a
lot.
fight?
Sashayan.
Yes, when? When was that?
I can't remember. God.
But
mean, that's the last
I
time
don't
you
think
did
Like it's like Sashayan.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I shine pam.
Yeah, I'm saying when was the last time?
Impama.
No, when last time did you?
you?
Why are you hitting the guy?
No, hey, but nothing doesn't shine no taxi. No taxi shine.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, boy, I went red.
I've beaten up a
What
taxi
happened?
driver before.
Uma phambi kwami ukhunta omunye utaxi. Ngiyamkhatha so. Uya round ushaya imoto boy ngaphuma.
Ushaya imoto yakho?
Yaphuma boy.
Your fancy car?
No, not the fancy car.
If you don't believe-
the one that I'm
If you don't believe my
sponsored.
story-
You see I'm driving a sponsored car. I'm a
If you
brand
don't
amba-
believe
I'm a
my
brand-
taxi story,
I'm a brand
do you know a
ambassador.
place called Marabi Club? It's at the Hallmark House Hotel
Yeah, but you
in
know
town.
this place
In Maboneng.
By that rugby stadium. What is it called?
Ellis Park.
Ellis Park. Yeah, it's there.
So if you go there,
Mark Clauser's got his whole hotel.
look for the guy
it's
that
done
runs
in
that
Black-
place.
Black
The
Coffee
guy
as
that
well.
runs Marabi Club.
Yeah.
His name is Stishman, aka Stelo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That nigga saw me on Jan Smuts Avenue in Bromfontein. just before it becomes, what is it, Queen Elizabeth for the Mandela Bridge, right?
Yeah,
sure.
So as it's coming up, like opposite to the rugby fields, the Wits rugby fields,
Yeah,
ne?
yeah.
Or Halt Makar fields,
Yeah.
right there, holding a taxi driver like this, pull
Do you
them
know,
out
do
of
you know
his
what the
car.
problem with the taxi drivers now? There's most taxi drivers also respect. Like
lot,
they
they
are
respect it.
amazing, and I
Yeah.
want to be open and honest. Most of them.
Yeah.
Then you got few fucking losers, few that think because uno taxi he can. Most of the time, if he my rank of Fagama Hazard, he puts his hand up. We get that because he's working, he's taking our moms to work, whatever.
And
the
we
case is,
understand, eh?
and we respect that.
Yeah.
But then there's the few that think that they own the road. They don't own my road, bruh. I mean, I'm so puma boy.
So
Ngifika like goal. Ngifika like my first week teaching. First week, hamba ngecall for one. Ne, ewangifaka efreezeni phethe umuntu taxi boy. Ewangifaka efreezeni boy. Mangithi, wangikhat, mayithi ngamkha. Hey, ngaphuma ngathi foseka umsulu wakho. Mayithi wakhipha intshisa so wathi. Yi, ngafreezer boy. Ngafreezer ngathi.
Yeah. You see, so
ngathi ngangena emotweni buka bukuya driver ne sengihleli ngiyi1 ingaqhaqa uthi boy ngathi ukuhlala phansi boy ngajuluka ngaba manzi same time ngathi 2 days later sengithuka umunye you can't do that boy and nami sengiready nami sengihamba naye sizila ngaphansi kwesithi mayikhipha nami ngiyayikhipha futhi sekumsuna wakho
yeah, I don't live like
amayikhipha nami
that.
ngiyayikhipha boy
Yeah, fortunately,
mina ngishiye emotweni uphume you can't ashayane wena mangishayane ngizothi ibhuti ngingena emotweni.
yeah.
But ngeke mfethu because manje wena ufana ukuthi siyala wena landi baseball bets ngenzeni ke manje ngoba
You
phela
from Mabathu, ne? Or Rustenburg?
Zirust,
Zero, so yeah, same thing. Same thing.
Kamutlata. You
Yeah,
you don't even know those places.
so they don't have electricity there.
I'm from Soweto,
Ongazongijwayela.
right?
Yeah.
I'm from Soweto. Like,
Mara, I grew up
we are
in
Soweto,
Tembisa.
Soweto.
Onganya.
You understand? As in grandmother in Soweto, mother in Soweto.
Ivory.
So, Soweto was a place that you needed to survive.
Yeah.
Let's say back when my family got there in the
Was it different with like
1940s,
different areas or like
1930s.
where in Soweto?
Well, different areas, but
Okay.
yeah, all over Soweto. Since the
got you.
1930s, my family's been there.
Damn.
Right?
1930.
Yeah, 1930s.
So you guys
How
were
many
here
how many
digging
generations from you?
You guys were here digging gold mine for real.
From my great grandmother.
It's 5 generations.
My
ne?
great grandfather was working here,
So what? 4 generations.
and that's where he had my grandmother, and she was born here. So yeah, so
So you guys are city.
that can trace.
we're deep.
That's why
You understand?
go X feels like. I mean, this is my home. You guys are visitors here.
Yeah, you guys are visitors in Goli, like all of you guys.
So can you trace your family outside of Gauteng townships?
Yeah.
You know them. Oh, okay.
All of them. Yeah, that's why we travel each year.
okay, all right.
Well, our ancestral home is between Eastern Cape and Limpopo.
Oh, right. All right.
Yeah.
Where do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
So yeah, we stretch everywhere.
I think I'm blessed because I can go back 12 generations.
So
You go back 12.
so for
The
my
first one, Umsizi, who came from Lesotho to come and join Izimpi Zasha.
my
Oh, you're not Zulu, Mus. Kim Sotho, Thomas.
Yeah, but Mlotshwa Banye ran to Free State because there's Mlotshwas in Free State and there's Mlotshwas in
you
KZN.
must remember that Shaka used to pay Mshweshwe tributes
Sure.
for soldiers.
Yes.
Yeah,
To add to his regiment.
So Tina Umkulu Umsizi, the first one that came
I also know from the
to fight part of Vushal. Because Abanye decided, let me not say Babalega, that's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Some decided to actually say, fuck that shit, I ain't fighting for that loser. Let me go and settle in Free State. That's why Mopegi Tagazi Zagamloja, they will be splitting. in
Okay,
different
come on,
towns.
come on.
So anyway, as you generationally progress, if you grow up in a hood like Soweto,
Sure.
you're gonna be a part of the streets. That's the only way to stay safe. That's the only way to think magic.
Yeah,
you
you
understand?
have no chance.
So, like, before democracy, that was our family business.
Sure.
So that's what we do. You know what I mean? Whatever business it is, whether it's be moving of goods or whatever the case may be, protecting taxis. Actually, that was like our main business, was to protect taxis. Give
Are you
them a
guys still
place.
dabbling in there? A little bit?
Yeah, somewhat.
Are you still dabbling in that?
No. I don't do it. My Zulu aunt does it. Her dad is Zulu. That's how there's Zulu blood in our family. Yeah, my aunt's dad is Zulu.
Interesting.
So that's how that
Outside of media, what other spaces are you in?
me. Oh no, I'm only in media. All of us are in different spaces in my family.
Okay.
But most of my family, my father's side of the family is in engineering. So electrical, metallurgy, civil engineering,
Nice.
Mechanical engineering, software development, IT, all of those things.
Okay.
And then my mother's side of the family is more in humanities, politics, and
The more neck up type of professions.
yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah.
No. The reason why I'm asking that is because there's I don't want to. I've seen certain people that have an aggressive voice on social media. They've got backing that people don't understand. Yeah, because like someone will say something and you're like, I've been having tall, and it's like, look, bro, I just need to make one phone call.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I can make one phone call.
It's done.
Well, I'll give you a month to get your people together. I'll give you 2 months. When you're ready, I'll make one phone call. And I've seen this time and time again. I know I've got someone that I won't name that will say shit. And I'll be like, Fitz, why do you say that? It's like, no, ngeke bangenze next. And ngiyazi ukuthi uthemba uba.
Uthembeni.
And ngiyazi uthembeni. Yabona. And uzokhuluma wasani Fitz ngithi okay. Bambize ngamasalad, bambize ngathi, and they're not going to touch him because like there's an energy that you carry that people don't understand. Which how humble you want.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying, Guti, like, oh, okay, you've got the branches spread wide.
Very well.
And that's a blessing, eh?
I mean,
It's a blessing.
Yeah, bro.
It's an absolute blessing.
just think about it. I'm from the biggest township in the world.
Ne?
In the world.
with access to.
You understand? Everything. And been there for long. Family ties. You name it. The fact that we've got an outpost in the north where my parents decided to raise us
Sure.
is
But one small, insignificant part, really, if you look at it, the bigger picture of
you understand what I'm
family.
saying? So, and my family is well vested in Soweto culture in terms of like, you know, the people that are there.
Yeah.
My mother goes to funerals of people. My dad is always there. You know what I mean? My cousins are always there. You know, so being a Sowetan is different. Like, you can't compare it to anything. Soweto is huge, guys.
But it's a culture that I don't understand because I've been in Joberg now for 12 years.
Yeah.
And I'm only learning the little corners now. You know, where and people will tell you stories about this place, it down Sanjena. These people will tell we're having this chat again with Mchita, and we're like, the lessons that you guys learned in the 90s, because I guess we just watched it from the TV.
Yeah, ish.
The implementation that you guys then took and plugged in with the resource that was available to you, we can only imagine on the outside looking in. So that's why it's so crucial for us visitors to like plug in with the machita as quickly as possible.
Exactly.
Because even when you're chilling with,
very fast, eh?
I mean, like even when you're chilling with the Grootman Sboer, you just want to be like, okay, no, sing la. No, sing la. Shh. I'm in down. Shh. Relax. Because I'm like, the things that you've forgotten, I still want to learn. You know, you know, can I step there? Okay, no, relax. Because a lot of the guys or the kids that are going to be watching this are going to be like, okay, I'm new in Joburg or I'm still stuck in a rural space and I don't know how to come out of it.
Pass me your phones. Pass me that phone. This is my parents' house, right?
Hey, Nota.
This is the Mkhubata house.
Yeah.
Makosonke Mkhubata, Makoi Mkhubata's brother.
No ways.
Lives in this house.
For those that understand,
Jazz music.
is a huge jazz, saxophone, trumpet, you name it, brass.
So they used to rehearse and everything and practice, and I used to go to their house every time they practice.
Do you know that
My mother is a Mkhubata.
Growing up, I used to like idolize
Right? This is Chris's house. Chris is a sound engineer.
Chris,
Right? This is where I met DJ Sbu on Chris's driveway. Chris was the sound engineer that engineered TS Records music. here is the salon that I go to, right?
When I was
When I was a baby,
Akasakundi,
right? Right?
Shembe, man, shembe.
Right? When it's time to do his hair, Shoes Musho comes to my house, pops on the gate. I walk out, I go into Shoes Musho's car. He drives me to the salon. I get my hair cut. He does his hair. When he's done, he drops me off at my gate, says bye to my mom, goes back to his house. The guy who scored in the World Cup 1998, Shubobo. Yeah, who scored against Denmark, scored against Peter Schmeichel, the best goalkeeper in the world at the time. Michael, not Manchester United legend. That guy picks me up to go cut my hair.
And here's the thing. And again, not shitting on anyone and not taking it down. There's thousands of kids that also had some sort of access to, but they did not utilize the blessings. So again, I just want to because we need to wrap up and we need to close.
No problem.
Whoever is going to be consuming this content, whoever you are, have resource.
Yeah.
You know,
You are a resource.
you are a resource. But again, there's only so many people, because even when you talk about there's people that didn't drink from this well, or the Chris well, or the shoes well, and they now looking back, seeing you mad, hating, you know, and you're like, bro,
If you only knew.
hit me up, I can still pull you back up. I need to still have that save a hoe complex. Savior?
Save a whole complex, yeah.
Yeah, but I'll still help you, bro.
I'm from the Save a whole tribe.
Yeah, but so if you need me to plug you, I can at least point you in the right direction.
Simple.
I think for me, just an appreciation of Nina Noitu is the family aspect. You know, because I don't think that, again, with no disrespect, you guys would be where you guys are if it wasn't for the family.
So let me put it to you like this, right? Because people, some people came at me on my social media the other day because I posted something about Ricky. Right?
I was angry at you for that.
People can be angry.
I was so angry at him, bro.
Yeah, people can be angry, but
You still angry at people on social media?
can I tell you
No,
something?
I was angry at the post.
So-
I was like, this guy's so insensitive.
Mina, I'm still angry at Ricky, and I will forever be angry at him, and I'll never forgive him. Let me tell you why.
man, I was so angry.
Because we came up together.
Sure.
There's a lot of intellectual property. There's a lot of shared knowledge, things connecting each other to business. Yo, this company is offering me this. Did they send you an offer? Yeah, they sent me an offer. I'm gonna quote them this. When you quote them this so that you can still secure the deal, but this is the price that we're setting for this market. That's the relationship I used to have with Ricky and some other players in the game. Now,
I was angry at you, though.
like you've got like a guy like Ricky.
Must get
He's
them.
also a player in the
You
game
didn't see the post.
that's in the same space as me. Now, the thing is that
Please get it from me.
for what we were doing for the music and for the game and for our culture, for our genre, whatever it's, right? It needed the captains, the Mount Rushmore, to all be there to ensure that things happen.
Of course.
When niggas start taking themselves out, and this is like a group investment, it's like Sise Stokfelin, and motherfuckers are killing themselves so that they can withdraw their portion. Now, my kids' inheritance is lessened because you just minused yourself.
I'll find it on IG.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I promise you. I bet you $20 you'll be angry.
No, you won't be angry.
I bet you $20 you'll be angry.
So my thing is
you won't be
that
angry. You'll be angry.
no, it's fine. You have to be a fan. So for me, I understand why niggas are angry. You don't know that nigga like that.
Yeah, but you didn't have to post it
I'm
like
just
that.
saying. I'm just
What
saying.
did he
Let me
say?
tell you something.
Give us context.
Let me tell you something.
Sure.
Ask him. He wrote it.
Me and Ricky, right?
Not out
we
there.
bonded. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter. I said like, yo, let's stop milking him. The guy is in the grave,
That's not what he
right?
said.
And we're celebrating him.
That's not what
He left he abandoned his child.
I
He did. That's the truth of the matter. There's lots of
can't-
people
I
who are
can't
not
give my
present for
opinion.
their kids.
I agree.
Eh?
I'm not angry.
I'm sorry.
Do you agree?
I'm
He
not
abandoned
angry.
his kid. I don't
you
care.
agree with
Penson, sit down. Sit down, man.
The trauma.
That's not a vape.
Penson, once you have a kid,
Yeah.
your number one responsibility
This
to
is
take
your
care of that
kid.
kid.
I'm
your
not disputing
feelings
that.
don't matter.
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
It's not a feeling. If, let's say, for example, I'm sick and I'm in hospital.
Sure.
Né?
Yeah.
My priority is still my kid. But I'm sick and I'm in hospital.
Okay, sure.
And
Then
your
I'm
kid will
limited.
know that you fought
Yes.
until their death.
Yes.
You did
Yes.
everything.
You fought
so
and you
okay.
succumbed.
So hospital né, is I'm at a point where I can't fix myself. I need others to fix me.
Okay.
I believe that this guy needed a mental hospital without sounding weird.
And you have a kid.
How did you know him? How well did you know him?
No, I didn't know him like how you knew
Exactly.
him.
I know him.
Yes,
I know that he's full of
that-
shit knowing him. You understand what I'm saying?
Got you.
So once I know you like that,
got you. I'm saying for him to do or for what happened, just tells me. And again, I'm not talking about him specifically. I'm just talking about the way things ended. Goti, it was like mentally he got hit by a truck.
no.
You don't know his decision. You know his brain.
It was all
Okay,
it was all his narcissism. I'm telling you that.
I can't speak
You
on
can't say
that.
that. You
I'm
can't say
telling
that.
you, I know him well.
You can't say that.
That's the thing.
I can't speak
if
like
you
that.
know
No,
your
no, no.
nigga, if you know your
You
nigga,
can't say that.
it's like if
You
your
don't know your
brother
nigga.
does something.
You can't say that.
If your brother does something,
doesn't know
no, I'm just saying you can
Yeah,
know.
well, I'll be. I get your anger
Yeah.
as his brother. I get your anger. I fully get your anger because, God forbid, touch wood, if my brother were to ever do that, I would be so angry.
I don't think you see.
So I
it's
would
different,
be
actually.
beyond angry.
No, let me explain to you like
Yeah,
this.
what I'm saying-
Let's say if you and your brother, let's
Yeah.
say you and your brother, your friends,
Yeah.
all of you now decide to go on this other journey of business or whatever it is, right?
Sure.
And that means that now you have to divorce from your actual birth families. And you have to create this new family and a tribe.
I'm not
so
mad
now
at
we're
you
out
being
in the
mad.
wilderness. No,
I'm mad
just
at you
saying.
posting.
So it's fine. Now we've
Expressing
all
the thoughts.
sacrificed, all of us together have sacrificed our actual blood
And
relatives.
what he said on the post.
We've
was not
sacrificed
nice,
our
bro.
blood relatives, right? And the only reason we were able to survive sacrificing our blood relatives is said we are each other's blood right now. We understand what we're doing. We're all moving each other forward. You're doing this. It's not like any concepts or anything that that is still being done around him today doesn't have parts of any of our DNA.
yeah, all of you
in
guys.
it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
You
It's
didn't
like
read the post. You didn't read the
No,
post.
what I'm
It's
saying,
fine.
man, I don't understand the suicide
fine.
when you've got a kid. I don't understand it.
I'm saying, Wuti,
That's what
again,
I'm gonna say.
I want to move away from this specific individual. I'm just saying, Wuti, I understand being ill.
Sure.
And I understand, Wuti, getting that route is a form of illness.
Sure.
And I wish that
No,
you
it's
can
not.
get help. How do you know that's not?
it's a decision.
Chief.
Mina, can I just say something?
It's a decision.
You didn't know Rick. You don't know your brother. And I'll tell you why.
Yes, I
Before you guys,
agree. But I'm agreeing with that.
Because who Ricky was with Nota is a different Ricky to who he was with the kid
And
the
his
wife,
family and
and
his-
him
yes.
by himself.
I agree.
Even you.
No, but I agree with you. Sure.
So what I'm saying is, even me, Mina, when I'm by myself, I'm my true self. Like
Yes.
me one.
Yeah.
My thoughts and my everything is who I am. So I think we're making assumptions on what the person showed you when they were with you.
You see, this is for me like the same thing as the romantic relationship.
Okay?
Isn't we're building something together. And if you abandon what we're building together at any point in time, to me, there's no worse.
I get the
betrayal.
anger, but
There's no
I
worse
don't
betrayal.
agree with the post.
I'm saying Unota's anger as a brother is justified because God knows
What has been built.
I've lost 4 friends
Yes, sir.
to Yabon, and I was initially very, very angry.
Before or after?
Sorry?
Before or after?
No, I'm just saying from
No, I'm saying
20
before Ricky passed away or after Ricky passed away.
from 2016, so before.
before.
Yabon. So I was very angry. I was so hurt, and I was like, and they left the most amazing kids behind, and like I was so angry, to the one regrettably I didn't even go to his funeral, and the others, in the black culture, like bafile fast, like we hear the news on the Monday, bafile on the Tuesday, So again, I was very angry, and I understand your anger as a brother before the business side of it. I'm still mad at the post.
Yeah, but you
We'll
need
get
to
the
understand
post.
that as a brother, right? For me, I have a position of influence, and I know Ricky's influence, and I know that his decision is influencing kids to think it's cool to take yourself out like that.
Thank you.
I think I will be
I
celebrated.
know them. No.
I will be this guy. I'll be a hero. I'll go out.
Let me tell you where I agree with Nota. Wait, let me tell you a personal story. Wait. Yes. Can I tell
They
you
think
something?
the way Ricky was celebrated when he died, they think that him having
Yes.
a festival
Caesar
now that he's
agrees
dead,
with that.
they think him being able to release music
Yes,
after
Caesar
his
knows
life.
is the truth.
You
Let me tell
understand? They think it's cool.
Some kids.
He did influence it. He did.
Some kids.
Oh, what do you mean, this guy?
Do you think some kids? I'm not saying. Obviously, it's
I got
fringe.
into a car with a kid last year. I played one of Ricky's songs. And they were like, no, man, yeah, don't play that song. And this is my car.
Yeah.
But obviously, you need to be.
You need to manage yourself, manage your
But
emotions.
you know, this song reminds me of this thing, and sometimes I've got these thoughts, and I want to take my life. So what Nota is saying is true.
He made it cool for a lot
there
of
is
kids.
a thing of making it cool. It's there.
Peter Clady.
I'm telling you.
Peter Clady. Right, hold on. Peter Clady. Do you know Peter Clady?
Let's see what the fringe. There's always going to be the fringe.
Let's see what Caesar has to say.
Maybe not cool, but like feasible.
Thank you.
You
The same
understand?
thing.
So Peter
put words in his
Clady, right?
mouth.
Peter
Same
Clady is the founder of Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. Well, Joy of Jazz. Standard Bank is the sponsor.
Yeah.
Joy of Jazz. His son, the late dancer, rapper, singer, Tumi Clady. Do you understand what I'm saying? What problems could he have been facing in his life that necessitated him taking his life?
But you don't know that.
I don't know that.
I knew some of the things that he was
You
doing in
may
his life.
have known some of them.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I knew some of the things, right?
Guys, I don't want to downplay mental health because
I've
I know
been
it's a real
divorced,
thing.
right?
But you may be strong. That's unfair.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm strong. But if you look at anyone
that's
who's
unfair.
ever had a public persona and compare the things that I've gone through maybe in the last 6 or 7 years,
You're built different, though, Marno.
I understand I'm built different.
Sure.
I still, with what I've gone through, still cannot accept that there could be a possibility that I now want to take my own life.
No, but Tanga, you come from a different background.
Yes, that I understand.
Again, I want to go back from the fact that you are Loksh, Down, Gogo, Daima, Olas, Auntie. Your upbringing is totally different and it's built you. You speak about the bulletproof vest or the bulletproof glass that you have. Some don't have that privilege, bro.
I understand that.
We can't downplay people that aren't as strong as you.
I
can't,
think,
though.
You know what the thing is? That's why I'm so disappointed in a lot of kids from my neighborhood. Because for them, they weren't able to handle the hardship side of things. So if you look at a guy like Ricky, yes, he had some hard life after his father passed away and from where they were from in Umlas, right? But I mean, once you're a Hilton boy, you're a Hilton boy for life, number one. If your parents pass away...
But your past plays a part.
If your parents pass away,
Don't do that.
The school takes care of you. You're part of the networks and everything
don't
else.
do that. Don't
you
do
look
that.
at guys like Adrian Lowe. That's another Hilton boy. That's a guy who directs commercials. That's why Ricky Rick, when he does his Nafukwa video, you're like, where does he get the fucking money to shoot such a video? That's because Adrian Lowe will be shooting a commercial for 4 days to hire all the equipment and everything else. And then on the day that he's supposed to return the equipment, Bavuga no Ricky, shoot it fast. And then all of a sudden he's got production value that you cannot afford.
But to Shang crew, you also did things with crew.
No, I'm just saying,
Sure.
that's what you've got access to. Now, when you've got this access to, you need to remember, me and Ricky are very alike.
No, you're not.
I'll tell you why. He's a
No,
savior
none of us
complex
could
guy.
know that.
I'm telling you. Ricky Rick is a savior complex guy.
You wouldn't do what he did.
I wouldn't kill myself. We're very alike. In certain aspects.
Yes,
I'm just saying. We're very alike. The nigga used to rope in nigga. Frank Casino. Do you think he signed Frank Casino? He didn't sign Frank Casino. He just said, yo, Frank Casino, I'm going to jump on your song. I'm going to pay for the music video, make sure that it pops off. How many kids did I come in, pay for this, do this? I did the same thing. We're operating on opposite ends. Now, the thing is that when we are operating, it's like me and you have an agreement. And lezi don't want to go back egasi and help these kids. Let us be the ones that do that. Sure. My career is going back to the hood and bringing niggas up. Ricky's career, same thing he did. Going back to the hood and bringing niggas up. Yeah, because he was more hip hop. With the North kids, he did a lot of that. But towards the latter part of his career, when he realized that Ipiani is moving, he's like, okay, let me pull these niggas up. Let me bring them in.
But it's different roles, bro.
It's the same role. We were mentoring. We're leading up.
You are business mind behind camera.
So is he?
Yes, I hear that.
But not to your extent.
Huh?
Not to your extent.
No, to my extent, exactly. Everything that I was doing, he was doing.
Not a never.
Everything that
more front camera. He's known for front camera.
He was in front camera. I wasn't in that part.
You known for pulling the strings behind the doors.
No, that's the thing, is that you guys don't know where he started. So this nigga was pulling the strings behind the scenes for the Rickies of this world.
But you did it more. That's what we're saying.
For the Eliases of this world. When Dalius was still starting up in his thing, Ricky was in the background.
I'm just saying what it's
if you
unfair.
guys know where he started, dog, this guy is a multi-hyphenate. That's the thing. You guys,
we're not downplaying him.
yeah, I know, but the thing that you didn't see in public, you knew him from Boss Zonke. I knew him from I Need Money.
I knew him from after.
I'm
No,
saying.
you understand what I'm
I knew from
saying?
after.
So, but
Yeah,
you
sure.
understand what I'm saying?
But I'm saying you guys have different as there may be many similarities in terms of the ambition, the drive, the business sense. Got it. No one's disputing
I'm
that.
just talking about the giving back.
Sure,
and
the
uplifting
giving
people.
back, the philanthropy,
Yeah.
perfect. But you have certain attributes, bro.
Yeah.
That he didn't have. I'll
Yeah.
give you.
He was the good cop, I was the bad cop.
I remember, and I was very privileged, and I was speaking to him 2021. And Ntanga randomly just broke down. Randomly.
Really?
Randomly. Eh, mina ngiya- you celebrate.
No, can't phela. Window.
And I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, it's like the relation, the certain relation where you like, I don't know you like that, Guti.
Yeah.
And I realized Guti, Uput is going through certain challenges that are above his ability. And I'm saying, Guti, whenever certain challenges are above, as strong as you may be, certain things may be just above. Therefore, I'm not going to. I pray I never get that type of, but I feel like he was ill. And I feel like he couldn't handle the level of ukula. And the only medicine that he felt at that time, which we all disagree with here, is for him to do that. And I'm not gonna talk ill of that. That's all I'm saying. And I pray that I never go down that route. But I understand the challenges.
Let's separate his act. Let's talk about, now that he's passed away, the way we aggrandize him, the way we memorialize him and everything else. Isn't that destructive? Because you are basically putting in the back of little kids' minds that, hey, if you just give up, at least you'll finally get there.
I don't think that's what people are doing. I think people are.
No, people are doing that. No,
You think kids don't want attention?
I'll kill myself. I get that part.
Parents are dealing with suicidal kids right now.
I'm not
Kids
just-
threatening to kill themselves right now.
No, I agree
Kids
with
who went
that.
to the festival, they like the guy, and then what?
I agree. I'm talking. No, I agree. So you must talk it too much.
He had impact. He had impact. That's what we're saying.
That's the thing.
Impact. I'm saying
Yeah.
I don't think that's the part that was that's highlighted. I think what's celebrated is the musician part of it.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying we can celebrate the musical side of it because all of us have flaws. And can we celebrate
We
the
can't
good that we've
celebrate
done?
any of it because by celebrating something after he's gone shows the person that wants to kill themselves that, well, even after I'm gone, they'll celebrate.
And
I'm
then-
telling
and
you,
the ones who are committing and labo
you must remember that these people are sick.
committing
We're
suicide.
talking about people
as
who are
Makumbuli.
sick. We're talking about sick people who are not thinking rationally, the people who are not reasonable.
There's a point.
You understand what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with those people and you know that you've got influence,
Caesar already disagreed with you. He said that it's better than making it
So we
fashionable.
can't celebrate Ricky's life and his music
We
contribution
can.
to the world. That you just said no. Nota just said no.
I'm saying we can.
okay, so
He
how
said
about
no.
how
Nota
about
said no.
how about streaming an artist that needs to go to Spar, Woolworths, Pick and Pay Checkers today and eat today?
So we can't celebrate. So we can chew gum and walk at the same time, right? So we can't celebrate the life.
What
and
is
the
the
music.
need on paying money?
Do you agree?
Paying money to a dead person, then paying money to a living person who needs the money.
Yeah.
He's got, I think, beautiful family that he.
And so, life insurance is taking care of
And we
that.
still listen to his music. So where must his money
No,
go?
I'm talking about.
I still listen to
you
his
listen
music.
to the music for someone who's active.
I listen to those songs.
You understand?
I listen to those songs. And I know you got your dirty little fingers on those songs as well.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Not Ricky.
Nota.
Not Ricky.
What a dirty
Nota
lie.
mara lwena man.
Nota's feet.
If you was alive, you're gonna say you got your
Why?
fingers in there.
No, I don't.
I want to wrap
Hey,
up.
not like
I want
my
to wrap
shot.
up because I've got so many questions I want to ask off camera.
I don't.
Not like
Nota started off with a lie
Right.
about what he was showing us on his phone.
No, he showed us the picture. That was not a lie.
No, he didn't. No. That was not a lie. That was not a lie.
Yeah, what are you
It was
talking
what he was saying. It was what he was saying. That was a lie.
Okay.
Through his mouth full of these pearly whites. I don't believe in Nota for a second.
Okay, that's fine.
But I do love the fact that he's so passionate about his brother Ricky, and it shows again what I am in awe of, and I think it's such a sad part of the social media. Uguti, they don't get to see how much of a family man. Okay, let me not use the word philanthropy because philanthropy is now very negative. It's like putting lipstick on a hoe, you know. So, but that's
Or touching babies.
Yeah, it's touching babies vibe. Philanthropy. Whenever someone's like, "Oh, it's philanthropy," we just think that you're touching little kids inappropriately.
Oh, I don't think of that. Sorry. Hey, I'm very confused. But
Yeah,
anyway.
now
I mean, it's like tax evasion, like philanthropy. Oh, tax evasion type of. It's got those connotations.
Okay, cool.
But like the fact that the thing you don't speak about, how many guys you've helped up, you know.
Look at
and
all the
continue.
podcasts.
Guys,
Oh, Nota shy my podcast for 2 years. Wonga trend.
Nota. So I had a separate guest for today.
Sure.
Ne? And I'm chatting to Nota, and there was a function. There's Nampelang manager, guys.
Nice.
New boy.
And I was saying, Guti, like,
Manager.
who do I know that would like certain yabo? And I'm chatting to you about some chillers vibe.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, bro, do you drink? Do you what?
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, don't yabo. But if you like invite the fams, we can come and
Yeah.
And I was like, nah. And I was like, hey, we're recording. Do you want to come record? I literally asked, hey, bro. And he's like, cool. Like he doesn't have this thing.
Yeah, Nota doesn't. No, never.
So I'm like, literally, there's the thing that is the public known, a fancy thing.
Yeah.
Uno's like, okay, he's not a big drinker, but he's happy to chill.
Yeah.
I literally pivot in a second.
Yeah.
But I'm recording here. It's like, chop.
Yeah, Nota's there.
His words are, when do you need me? I was like, 5? He's like, I cool. But like those are the things that you do though. Like it's not like I'm not like trying to make it seem as if it's
That's true.
It's a
not-
big thing in
yeah.
your world. It's
It's
Donna,
not.
if I can, I will.
Yeah.
And I my frustrations with the social media world, and I get to see it in my family. Uguti, there's so many amazing people. Smooth, and we give Grootman Homa all the time. We give him love because the things that he does behind closed doors that Amachita don't see.
Yeah, they'll never see.
The Zolas of the world that people will talk, the Ricky Ricks of the world that have, and I really pray and I hope truly Uguti people get to see that side.
Yeah. For who
Because that side is actually, that's the bottom of the iceberg.
Yeah.
The marketing media side.
I know that.
is the tip.
I know. The tip is
The tip is the marketing
Is
side.
it the
that-
opposite? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Bottom of the Wait, that part that's underwater though.
This motherfucker. I don't give him that flying George Floyd.
You mean the bigger part?
bigger part,
I get it.
You know, but I really appreciate, and I think we've been lucky with getting a lot of guys that have come through that are actually family people.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if we can continue that as a education for whoever may be watching, with as much as we can talk shit, as much as we can, you know, have our flaws because we are also human, you know, and the passion points. But the reality is that as Amachita Masngabamsan, I think so.
Yeah, no, we need to support one another, and we need to show a good example of how we've supported one another. So that's why I give a lot of time, especially to this podcasting space. I've done it in the rap space for a specific reason, and it succeeded the way it succeeded, and it taught me everything I need to know about how to contribute in this new space and make it a success. Now, the thing is that it's a personal sacrifice, right? But I needed to first figure out how I'm going to be compensated for that. So I paid myself first. So I sorted out my compensation first, right? So that whatever I segmented my space in the market already first, so that when the market grows, I benefit from my already segmented space. So the entire market grows and it grows with me. And whether or not my contribution is appreciated or not, you know, the fact that the space is growing with whoever it's growing with benefits me, and I'm happy with that, and that's it. So because I was able to do that, I've got the time to, you know, I've got more passive time now. I don't have to be in studio. I don't have to, you know what I mean? There was a point in time where a club owner owned my time. You understand what I'm saying? A nigga could wake me up and get me out of bed. You know, I did that for however many years, decades. And now I don't have to do that.
But it's earning your dues, it's cutting your teeth.
You understand what I'm saying? To buy this time that I have right now. Because I knew that, okay, fine. I need to make it by my 40s. I've got my 20s and my 30s to build and do everything else. By the time I'm in my 40s, I want things to just be, you know, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where I was like, yeah, my 40s are for that. That's when I feel like I'll be comfortable enough to now have kids, because now I don't want to do it. I don't want to have kids at the same time while I've got obligations.
Yeah, you're grinding.
You understand what I'm saying? So right now, what we're seeing, especially like I didn't watch the whole entire episode. I watched snippets. There's so much content that's come out in the last month and a half, actually. The last month and a half.
Hours.
Like, it's almost impossible to watch all the content that's hot that has come out, you know? The needing to talk as brothers, chilling, let's chill at the bar type vibe is something that we speak about too much.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of already, automatically. If you play sports, every sports club has a pub. That's where we all link up and chill. We go to the pub just to go to the pub, whether we're playing cricket or not this weekend. You know what I mean?
Talk shit, yeah.
That's it. So we do that therapy, and it's informal, and it's not, you know what I mean? Whereas with girls, everything is orchestrated, it's organized, it's expensive, it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, my girl was a maid of honor. Damn. I don't want to say such things. Was a maid of honor in a wedding recently.
You know how much that cost? have you been if it's when I was a best man? I'll never do that again.
Yeah,
I refuse. Ever. I'll say, my boy, I love you. Give me your banking details. I'll send EFT. But I'll see you on the day.
Yeah.
Close to I'm sorry, bro. Because it's not the financial resource. It just
it's a lot.
It is the financial resource. It is, and especially if you're Zulu.
And it's
because the Zulus are over elaborate.
Hey, Baba. Anyway,
so now with my parting shot before we go, I'll just say, for me, right, the main aim, especially in what I was doing in that first thing, was to get to the finish line, right? So when I built my company or my record company, I didn't think of like, oh, I'm gonna build a talent house, I'm gonna develop all these talents. I said, I'm gonna work with one talent and I'm gonna get that talent to the finish line.
Yeah.
What is the finish line? The finish line is home, children, wife, family, education. That's it. So for anyone who's passed through these hands, the finish line for all of them is they've got their own home now.
Yeah.
They're married with kids.
With kids, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You look at the generation that came before me, the guys that groomed talent before me, the Kwaito generation. How many of those Kwaito generation? Okay, the house generation.
I must say.
How many of those are home, family? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, that's my success. And that is the goal. So Ricky might not be a guy who comes from my hand, but he's a guy who worked with me, ensuring that other guys get to this state, right? So losing one of those examples.
It's a painful one, yeah.
Because it's only a handful of them. It's only a handful. You know what I mean? And it is what it is with that.
My camera, guys.
The one we saw. Hey, that picture is quite a...
Let me go take a leak. Yeah, quickly take a leak. No, thank you.